Good morning. How are you? Good morning. How are you? I hope you're doing fine. Jane, my buddy. Jane, I feel like you and I are buddies, you know? Who is that? I don't even know. Good morning. It's your conscience speaking. Eat more vegetables. I'm good, Neil. How are you? Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, I still feel like this microphone feels a little fuzzy, but that's me. We are Lolo, the slivers of the same soul. That's right, baby. That's right. I feel it. I do feel it, Jane. You and I are goofy. I'm so glad to hear that, Neil. You're doing good. I'm really glad to hear that. Everything okay up there in Montreal? Is it rainy? Is it sunny? Is it what do we got? What do we got for weather up there in Montreal right now? Isn't it poetic? I know. Good morning, Badger. How are you, darling? Good to see you. Good to see you. We are. That's such a beautiful way to put it, Jane. We are slivers of the same soul. I really do feel like that. Uh, well, this morning, it's just going to be chill. We're just going to be, I've got a ton of shit to read for you. I'm sure I've got some clips. God knows some idiot will do something, somewhere. Ooh, sunny and mild. Great biking weather here. Oh my God. I'm going to tell you right now, Neil, I'm dying in this heat. We're having a heat wave now. You know, you guys all had your heat waves. Oh no! Morning, my kitty brought my daughter a little bird to her overnight and I can't catch it. Oh my God, gal. You are chasing a little bird around. Uh-oh. You better catch it, Mom. You better save that birdie, Mama. That's so cute. Oh, little peanut. Little peanut. Gosh, your family brings me such joy. It's an adorable little bird. It's fast as shit. Well, tell him to calm down. It's first thing in the morning. Come on, bird. Cooperate. Everybody chill. I know. The little bird must be scared. That's okay. You know what? If I was a little bird and I was going to be saved, I'd want Gal's family to save me. I can tell you they're in very good hands. I'm just going to brag on Gal for a minute. I mean, her children are such wonderful human beings. Like literally. They're such sweet little human beings. I can honestly like totally tell you that. Uh like that is just the sweetest family. The sweetest family, really. Anyway, enough of that. I'm sorry. I'm gushing over. But we had such a great visit back in the day, back when I was in the desert. So, yeah, they are pretty cool. Yeah, that's for sure. Good people. Good people. Um, anyway, yes, today we have a ton of stuff to read. And God knows something else will happen, and we have to do all this kind of knuckle stuff. Oh, awesome. And then Gal's coming in. I knew, you come in with the hot stuff, baby, this evening. And the hot stuff, baby, tonight. Holy shit. That's a Kenneth Vogel. In 2019, on Trump's orders, a U.S. Navy SEAL team snuck into North Korea to try and plant a device to monitor Kim Jong Un's communication. I'm not trying. I'm not trying to laugh because literally I don't want to laugh. But move it. The King of Hearts. Oh, Grace Lisa. Good morning, Grace Lisa. I feel like I have heard that. Well, we're definitely gonna read this, gal. How a top secret SEAL Team 6 mission into North Korea fell apart. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be an asshole. I'm just like, The absurdity of this world is pretty much starting to get to me. Well, maybe it's already gotten to me. I shouldn't say that. It's probably already gotten to me. But anyway. Hey, did you also hear the person that was murdered at, I think they were murdered at Burning Man? You know, they found a body, blah, blah, blah. A person. A body sounds so whatever. A person. Um, if it is sweet, the King of Hearts. Oh, really? Who's in it? Who's in it, Grace Lisa? Um, the Burning Man guy that got murdered. He's a Russian national. Now, granted, okay, he was like a young man Russian national, like from Russia, like not didn't live here. I think maybe I didn't get the full story, but I was watching a news clip on it, so forgive me if I don't have the full story. But I believe he was visiting, and so my questions raised up. Not that he's Russian or whatever, but that how could he? Number one, why wasn't he fighting for Russia? Because he seemed to be a young, like a 32-year-old, like male, normal health kind of thing. Anyway, from the pictures, anyway. Of course, I'm doing all this from, here's a 3-minute story I listened to and a couple of pictures I saw. But, it's just a kind of nutty, it is a kind of nutty story, Jane, because it's like, why wasn't this kid at the front? Like, I feel like Russia, like, put all their young people, like young men, at the front. So I'm kind of wondering, who is this guy that he's like traveling all over the world during like fucking sanctions shit. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'll find out more to the story, but it really got it got my Murder She Wrote uh my Murder She Wrote gene kind of just popped up and was like crazy. Uh, okay, here we go. Grace Lisa. It is about a town that gets liberated during the World War One, and they forget to let. Oh God! I know that movie so well. Jesus Christ! With oh shit! What the fuck was that guy's name? He was such an amazing actor. Oh, Kind Hearts and Coronets. What the fuck was his name? King of Hearts. Oh God! I love that movie. I know exactly what movie. 1966. But Alan Bates was in it. Okay. The film is set in a small town in France near the end of World War One. As the Imperial German army retreats, they booby trap the whole town to explode. The locals flee, and left to their own devices, a gaggle of cheerful lunatics, that's what the Wikipedia says, escape the asylum and take over the town, thoroughly confusing the lone Scottish soldier who has been dispatched to defuse the bomb. It's a very good movie. It's a very good movie. Yeah, that's worth a watch. That's worth a watch. Great. What a great idea. Okay, let's see. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. There have been wealthy Russians out there in the past, including scandals about their camps. Really? What the fuck? I had no idea. Oh my God. I know, Badger, from your mouth to God's ears. Jesus, if there is a God, now's your time, okay, sweetheart? Now's the time to step up and show us that you exist. Alan Bates. Yep. Uh-oh. Cal. Oh my God. Come on. Cal's. I've had it with you peoples. What are you doing? Oh God. Okay. I heard about this yesterday, Gal. I heard that Eric Adams and Curtis Sliwa were offered jobs. Were offered jobs in the Trump administration to drop out of the race. We got to talk about that, okay? Because here's we will definitely talk about that. Because here's the deal, okay? And tell me if you think that if you agree with my assessment of this, okay? Can you just like give me a tell me if you think I'm insane. What? A Curtis Yarvin debate? What the hell, gal? You're watching all this good stuff. Okay. Anyway, So wait. So what I understand is that Eric Adams and Curtis Sliwa have been offered jobs, or there's talk of giving them jobs in the Trump administration to get them to drop out of the race. So that's interesting because here's what happens in my brain when you do that. When you tell Curtis and Eric to drop out of the race, you've basically eliminated, or maybe it wasn't Curtis Sliwa, maybe it was no, it was. And then I don't know if I don't think he offered Cuomo. I think they're trying to get, I don't know what it is. But anyway, here's the thing. Cuomo or excuse me, Eric Adams and all those guys being out of the race, doesn't that make it easier for Mom Donnie to win if you eliminate, like I stay with me because New York City's a weird place. So there are people who you would probably still have brunch with that would vote for Eric Adams, okay? More like weird cabinet. Yeah, more like weird cabinet. Um, So doesn't that make it easier for Mom Donnie? I know Sliwa's awful. He's a fucking yeah. Oh, Clayburgh knows all about him. Oh gosh, yeah. No, Curtis Sliwa's a Republican. He's an idiot. But is it that the Trump administration wants some kind of run between Cuomo and Mom Donnie because they think Cuomo can win if you get Sliwa and Adams out of the way? He used to run the Guardian Angels in New York. Do you remember in the 80s there were those dudes that went on the subways in New York and they wore like like berets, red berets. And that was his group. He organized that group in the 80s. What the fuck were they just called the Guardian Angels? I don't even know if they were called that. But I think something like that. So Curtis was the founder of that. He's a Republican. He has been. He runs for everything, and he's a fucking idiot. Like he's lost his marbles. Like he is the Wayne Newton of New York City politicians. Okay, let me just put it that way. Curtis Sliwa is the Wayne Newton of New York politics. Period. And he's a joke. He's just a total joke. Yeah, with the berets, exactly, Lee. Yeah, he's a joke. So anyway, I think it was the Guardian Angels, Neil. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So he's like, yeah, he's an idiot. I mean, there's no one will vote for that guy. I'm sorry. He might win in like Staten Island. Like he could win Staten Island. Okay. Curtis, you could be the mayor of Staten Island. That's about the only place in New York that you could win anything. And maybe it would just be a ham sandwich because he wouldn't know how to run anything. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, Curtis Sliwa is a joke. He doesn't know how to run anything. He's an idiot, whatever. Anyway, so I just thought it was interesting because if you get all the people out of, if you get all the people out of the race and it's a Mom Donnie, I don't know, Cuomo. I'm not even sure what the result is. I just don't think. I think Mom Donnie's going to win, and I'm really upset with the Democratic Party that they're not like getting full throated behind Mom Donnie's. I get what their weirdness is about it, but that's stupid. And if they took a step back and looked at it with real eyes, they would see that it's incredibly stupid to take what is righteous and strong enthusiasm for a new face of leadership in New York. Then like it just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay. Oh no, a clip of Yarbin. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Meet Curtis Yarbin. We're gonna play that. Okay, let's get it started here. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Okay. All right. I know that just looks like Lolo. That's just a big screen that we can't. This mom jeans weirdo. Craig, I love you. Gal Sliwa exported his guardian angels to Montreal to combat crime on the subway, which didn't exist. The metro subway system became more unsafe because the thugs were harassing. I'm sorry, that's not funny, but there's something funny about it. Yeah, he's an asshole. It's true. It's true. He's a Republican, so it's immediately disqualifying. Okay, but our buddy Greg Oliar, love you, Greg, uh, is writing about Curtis Yarvin. Behold, his Curtis Yarvin, thought leader, so called, of the Dark Enlightenment. This mom jeansed weirdo is who Peter Thiel and JD Vance, and by extension Dump, think has all the best ideas. Fuck Yarvin. Hat tip 5GW. Okay, here we go. What do we got here? Let's see what we got.
Monarchy as the norm is completely accepted up until 250 years ago. And so when we basically see Hitler, tyranny, despotism, and so forth, the thing we have to bear in mind is that we are looking at monarchy in the age of democracy. And so the question is, what is going on inside this 250-year bubble? That is this bubble of like very different ideas about government. When we look at this period, do we seem to see governments that work really, really well? Have we like found the mystery of that? I really don't think so. Actually, when we look at the technology available to government today,
I'm gonna play
we're looking at monarchy and
whatever, dude. Wait, that's the screenshot right there. Thank you, Greg. All right, I'm going to read Greg's captions because it's too fucking funny.
The age of democracy. And so the question is, what is going on inside this 250-year bubble? That is this bubble of like very different ideas about government. When we look at this period, do we seem to see governments that work really, really well? Have we like found the mystery of that? I really don't think so. Actually, when we look at the technology available to governments today, and we look at what a poor job they do, and then we look at
this is as snazzy as he's capable of dressing.
Pre-modern government, which had 50th as many employees per capita.
The fuck is he even talking about? I love you, Greg Oliar.
We see, actually, no, we don't seem to have discovered something new and more effective here. So how did we even get here? Like, what are we doing here? Because this is not normal.
What are we even doing listening to you?
Thank you, Curtis Yarvin. Glenn, you are up next. You disagree. You believe the U.S. should not be ruled by a CEO dictator.
Is that Glenn Greenwald? Curtis Yarvin is their thought leader. Yeah, it's so true. These weirdos want Donald Trump to be our king. Fuck off, Curtis. I don't know who was debating him. I'll have to watch that. That's what you watched, Gal, last night? Oh my god. That's too funny. That is too funny. I don't know. I'll try and find. You recorded most of it. Awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm getting back into my brain space where I'm gonna start tracking like what my friends are doing because I lost track of that for a while because I can only do one thing at a time. So, who is he talking to? A fake studio audience? It's probably just a bunch of nerds. It's a bunch of one-eyes. Okay, Lee? That's who it is. It's a bunch of one-eyes. Learn something new every day. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Let's see. It is laughable. Yeah, Dunning-Kruger politics style. They think that they're popular even when they're totally not. It's so true. He has tamed his hair. It's a good point. Mocking does work, Jane. Yeah, you'll notice Curtis Yarvin's hair is actually combed at this point. So yeah, it's getting he's feeling the pressure. He's feeling the pressure. All right. So speaking of Eric Adams, this is what Gal shared. Eric Adams eyed by Trump for Saudi Arabia ambassadorship, which makes perfect sense. Yeah, forgot about One Eye. I forgot about him too until that moment where I thought, who's in the audience? Oh, yeah, it's all him. NYC mayor is facing pressure to quit his campaign for a second term. You know what? You're not going to win, Eric. I'm going to tell you right now. It ain't going to happen. Okay? It's just not going to happen. God, but you are falling up. Let me tell you. Talk about falling up. Jesus Christ. You can be a total fucking asshole, a corrupt, bullshit piece of crap person, and get promoted. But I have to light a joint. Okay. Because we have to bake. It's in the title of the show. All right, here we go. New York. President Donald Dump's administration is considering New York City Mayor Eric Adams for an ambassadorship to Saudi Arabia, according to two people with knowledge of the discussions. The potential post comes as Adams, mired in the single digits in polls, is facing pressure to drop his bid for a second term in order to consolidate the field and halt the momentum of the frontrunner Zoran Mamdani, a democratic socialist. He's a progressive politician. I'm so sick of fucking labels. I called Yarvin's haircut the Karen Bob. It is kind of a Karen Bob. I don't know. I think I can get behind that. The ambassadorship discussion was first reported Friday morning by the New York Times. Adams' campaign spokesperson, Todd Shapiro, and City Hall spokesperson, Kayla Mamalak Altus, did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Trump on Thursday evening said he didn't want a communist elected mayor and supported a winnowed two-person race. Well, then wouldn't he give a job to Mamdani? I know. How come I never fall up? Exactly. See, Grace Lisa, you're right. How come I don't ever fail up? I fail down miserably. Adams' exit would give a boost to former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who shares a base of moderate, older, and blue-collar voters with the mayor. Republican Curtis Sliwa has vowed he will not leave the race and has been polling in third place behind Cuomo. Adams in recent days has also discussed a potential post at the Department of Housing and Urban Development, according to a person with knowledge of the conversation. The mayor met this week with Trump's team in Florida, a sit-down that reportedly included presidential envoy Steve Witkoff, which I thought was so odd. Well, I guess it's not odd because he's the envoy to Saudi Arabia, I guess. Adams has publicly denied that he's spoken to Trump about any jobs and brushed off questions about getting pressured to step aside, which is interesting because he did actually go to Mar-a-Lago. So that's kind of bullshit, Adams, that you think people are so stupid or gracious that they would just let you lie about that. Okay? So stop, you motherfucking asshole. My life has been pressure. That's what my life is. Pressure. No pressure, no diamonds. Oh, because you're shooting diamonds out of your ass? Is that what it is? You're fucking baking carbon in your butthole and you're making diamonds? That's what you just described, Eric. You're supposed to succumb to that? That's not what I do. No, you're just a dick. Top New York Democrats, Governor Kathy Hochul, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who inexplicably is still alive, and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who? I don't ever hear about Hakeem these days. What the fuck is he doing? God. Everybody got their jobs, so they're happy now? They can just sit there and do whatever the fuck they want? Oh, Trump is... And Satan is pregnant. Oh my God, Cal. I didn't watch South Park. Oh my God. Oh. Are also under pressure to endorse the 33-year-old Mamdani's upstart bid, which they should. What the fuck is wrong with you? I expected huge things from Hakeem Jeffries. I've met him in person. He was in Brooklyn when I was in Brooklyn, and I'm going to tell you right now, I am so disappointed in whatever he thought that this job was supposed to be. And oh my God, I knew when he kept repeating, well, if the MAGA extreme Republicans, the extremist MAGA Republic or whatever, however he says it, I'm like, oh my God, we're doomed. We are doomed. That's what you're going to do? You're just going to go ahead and go with the meme version of this? Hakeem, really? You fucking idiot. Ah, these people make me so mad. You have such power. You have such influence. And this is how you choose to use it. Oh my God. Adams has had Saudi Arabia on his mind this week, mentioning a previous trip to the country unprompted while speaking at a campaign event with Muslim leaders on Thursday. Quote, those who are of the Muslim faith, close to 1 million here in the city of New York, crossing the entire span of the globe, they matter, he said. And when I visited Saudi Arabia, when I visited Jordan, when I visited Oman, when I visit the part of the African diaspora and watch the Muslim population there, they truly believe in peace. They believe in forgiveness. Forgiveness? What was that was that part of your menu, Eric? And they believe in the prosperity of the countries they are in, particularly this city. Wow. Fucking weird. Fucking weird. Fucking weird. Okay. Oh, stop. This is a gift link. Thank you, gal. Dumpy and him touching everybody. Why are you touching everybody? Anyway, we'll read this in a minute. Let me just have some coffee, catch up with chat. Everybody doing okay today? How's everyone doing? Are you guys doing okay today? Happy Friday! Oh my God, it's Friday. I forgot. Totally forgot it was Friday. That's great. What great news that is. I hope. I hope it's great news. Sometimes if you work on the weekend, it's not such great news because it's not your Friday. Okay? So for all of those who it isn't your Friday, I feel you. I feel you. How a top secret, this is a New York Times article, excuse me. How a top secret SEAL Team 6 mission into North Korea fell apart. The 2019 operation, greenlit by President Dump, sought a strategic edge. It left unarmed North Koreans dead. A group of Navy SEALs emerged from the ink-black ocean on a winter night in early 2019 and crept to a rocky shore in North Korea. They were on a top-secret mission so complex and consequential that everything had to go exactly right. The objective was to plant an electronic device that would let the United States intercept the communications of North Korea's reclusive leader, Kim Jong-un, amid high-level nuclear talks with President Dump. The mission had the potential to provide the United States with a stream of valuable intelligence, but it meant putting American commandos on North Korean soil. A move that, if detected, not only could sink negotiations but could also lead to a hostage crisis or an escalating conflict with a nuclear-armed foe. It was so risky that it required the president's direct approval. For the operation, the military chose SEAL Team 6's Red Squadron, the same unit that killed Osama bin Laden. The SEALs rehearsed for months, aware that every move needed to be perfect. But when they reached what they thought was a deserted shore that night, wearing black wetsuits and night vision goggles, the mission swiftly unraveled. A North Korean boat appeared out of the dark. Flashlights from the bow swept over the water. Fearing that they had been spotted, the SEALs opened fire. Within seconds, everyone on the North Korean boat was dead. The SEALs retreated into the sea without planting the listening device. The 2019 operation has never been publicly acknowledged or even hinted at by the United States or North Korea. The details remain classified and are being reported here for the first time. The Dump administration did not notify key members of Congress who oversee intelligence operations before or after the mission. The lack of notification may have violated the law. The White House declined to comment. This account is based on interviews with 24 people, including civilian government officials, members of the first Trump administration, and current and former military personnel with knowledge of the mission. All of them spoke on the condition of anonymity because of the mission's classified status. Several of those people said they were discussing details about the mission because they were concerned that special operations failures are often hidden by government secrecy. If the public and policymakers become aware only of high-profile successes, such as the raid that killed bin Laden in Pakistan, they may underestimate the extreme risks that American forces undertake. The military operation on North Korean soil, close to American military bases in South Korea and the Pacific region, also risked setting off a broader conflict with a hostile, nuclear armed, and highly militarized adversary. Let me just check up with catch up. Check up with cat. Catch up with chat or catch up. What Ghislaine Maxwell told the Justice Department, listening to the convicted sex offender's lengthy interview reveals that she and her interviewer had one goal: to satisfy Donald Trump. Oh, okay, cool. A WAPO. Okay, good. Coming to that next. I should, oh my God, you're so great, gal. God, you pick up on all the good stuff. Okay, the New York Times proceeds cautiously when reporting on classified military operations. The Times has withheld some sensitive information on the North Korea mission that could affect future special operations and intelligence gathering missions. Hi, Haggard. How are you? Good morning. Hi, Teresa. Good morning, darling. Good to see you, my friends. The Times has withheld. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Sorry. It is unclear how much North Korea was able to discover about the mission, but the SEAL operation is one chapter in a decades long effort by U.S. administrations to engage North Korea and constrain its nuclear weapons programs. Almost nothing the United States has tried, neither promises of closer relations nor the pressure of sanctions, has worked. In 2019, Mr. Dump was making a personalized overture to Mr. Kim in search of breakthrough that had eluded prior presidents. But those talks collapsed, and North Korea's nuclear program accelerated. The U.S. government estimates that North Korea now has roughly 50 nuclear weapons and missiles that can reach the West Coast. Mr. Kim has pledged to keep expanding his nuclear program exponentially to deter what he calls U.S. provocations. The SEAL mission was intended to fix a strategic blind spot. For years, U.S. intelligence agencies had found it nearly impossible to recruit human sources and tap communications in North Korea's insular authoritarian state. Gaining insight into Mr. Kim's thinking became a high priority when Mr. Dump first took office. The North Korean leader seemed increasingly unpredictable and dangerous, and his relationship with Mr. Trump had lurched erratically between letters of friendship and public threats of nuclear war. In 2018, relations seemed to be moving toward peace. North Korea suspended nuclear and missile tests, and the two countries opened negotiations, but the United States still had little insight into Mr. Kim's intentions. Ooh, take a look at that. Amid the uncertainty, U.S. intelligence agencies revealed to the White House that they had a fix for the intelligence problem: a newly developed electronic device that could intercept Mr. Kim's communications. The catch was that someone had to sneak in and plant it. Really? I just find it so weird that stuff is like very Luddite or untechnical in the age of so much technical. I don't know. It just seems odd to me. The job was given to SEAL Team 6 in 2018, military officials said. Sorry, I have to light my joint went out. Priorities. Okay, even for Team 6, the mission would be extraordinarily difficult. SEALs who were more used to quick raids in places like Afghanistan and Iraq would have to survive for hours in frigid seas, slip past security forces on land, perform a precise technical installation, and then get out undetected. Getting out undetected was vital. In Mr. Dump's first term, top leaders in the Pentagon believed that even a small military action against North Korea could provoke catastrophic retaliation from an adversary with roughly 8,000 artillery pieces and rocket launchers aimed at approximately 28,000 American troops in South Korea, and nuclear capable missiles that could reach the United States. But the SEALs believed they could pull off the mission because they had done something like it before. In 2005, SEALs used a mini-sub to go ashore in North Korea and leave unnoticed, according to people familiar with the mission. The 2005 operation, carried out during the presidency of George Bush, has never before been reported publicly. The SEALs were proposing to do it again. In the fall of 2018, while high-level talks with North Korea were underway, Joint Special Operations Command, which oversees Team 6, received approval from Mr. Dump to start preparing, military officials said. It is unclear whether Mr. Dump's intent was to gain an immediate advantage during negotiations or if the focus was broader. Joint Special Operations Command declined to comment. The The plan for the Navy to sneak a nuclear-powered submarine nearly 2 football fields long into the waters off North Korea, and then deploy a small team of SEALs and 2 mini-subs, each about the size of a killer whale, that would motor silently to the shore. The mini-subs were wet subs, which meant the SEALs would ride immersed in 40-degree ocean water for about 2 hours to reach the shore, using scuba gear and heated suits to survive. Oh my God, that's insanity. Let's see. Near the beach, the mini-subs would release a group of about 8 SEALs who would swim to the target, install the device, and then slip back into the sea. What was the target? I don't understand that. Yet he went with his boneheaded idea anyway. Yes, Neil. What will they do now that this story is out? It's a really good point. Because don't they have to address this? The fact that, I mean, I don't know. It's, yeah, interesting. But the team faced a serious limitation. It would be going in almost blind. Typically, special operations forces have drones overhead during a mission streaming high-definition video of the target, which SEALs on the ground and senior leaders in far-off command centers can use to direct the strike in real time. Often, they can even listen in on enemy communications. But in North Korea, the drone would be spotted. Any drone would be spotted. The mission would have to rely on satellites in orbit and high-altitude spy planes in international airspace miles away that could provide only relatively low-definition still images, officials said. Those images would arrive not in real time, but after a delay of several minutes at best. Even then, they could not be relayed to the mini-subs because a single encrypted transmission might give the mission away. Everything had to be done under a near blackout of communications. If anything awaited the SEALs on shore, they might not know until it was too late. SEAL Team 6 practiced for months in U.S. waters and continued preparations into the first weeks of 2019. That February, Mr. Dump announced that he would meet Mr. Kim for a nuclear summit in Vietnam at the end of the month. For the mission, SEAL Team 6 partnered with the Navy's premier underwater team, SEAL Delivery to Vehicle Team 1, which had been doing mini-sub espionage for years. SEALs boarded the nuclear-powered submarine and headed for North Korea. When the submarine was in the open ocean and about to enter a communications blackout, Mr. Dump gave the final go-ahead. It is unclear what factors Mr. Dump weighed when approving the SEAL mission. 2 of his top national security officials at the time, his National Security Advisor John Bolton and the acting Defense Secretary Patrick M. Shanahan, declined to comment for this article. The submarine neared the North Korean coast and launched 2 mini-subs, which motored to a spot about 100 yards from shore in clear, shallow water. Mission planners had tried to compensate for having no live overhead video by spending months watching how people came and went in the area. They studied fishing patterns and chose a time when boat traffic would be scant. The intelligence suggested that if the SEALs arrived silently in the right location in the dead of night in winter, they would be unlikely to encounter anyone. There's the coast of North Korea. There's the coast of North Korea. The night was still and the sea was calm. As the mini-subs glided toward the target, their sensors suggested that the intelligence was correct. The shore appeared to be empty. The mini-subs reached the spot where they were supposed to park on the sea floor. There, the team made what may have been the first of 3 small mistakes that seemed inconsequential at the time, but may have doomed the mission. In the darkness, the first mini-sub settled on the seafloor as planned, but the second overshot the mark and had to do a U-turn, officials said. The plan called for the mini-subs to park facing the same way, but after the second sub doubled back, they were pointing in opposite directions. Time was limited, so the group decided to release the shore team and correct the parking issue later. Sliding doors on the subs opened, and the SEALs, all gripping untraceable weapons loaded with untraceable ammunition, swam silently underwater to shore with the listening device. Every few yards, the SEALs peeked above the black water to scan their surroundings. Everything seemed clear. That might have been a second mistake. Bobbing in the darkness was a small boat. On board was a crew of North Koreans who were easy to miss because the sensors in the SEALs' night vision goggles were designed in part to detect heat, and the wetsuits the Koreans wore were chilled by the cold seawater. The SEALs reached shore thinking they were alone and started to remove their diving gear. The target was only a few hundred yards away. Back at the mini-subs, the pilots repositioned the sub that was facing the wrong way. With the sliding cockpit doors open for visibility and communication, The pilot revved the electric motor and brought the sub around. That was probably a third mistake. Some SEALs speculated afterward in briefings that the motor's wake might have caught the attention of the North Korean boat, and if the boat crew heard a splash and turned to look, they might have seen a light from the sub's open cockpits glowing in the dark water. The boat started moving toward the mini-subs. The North Koreans were shining flashlights and talking as if they had noticed something. Some of the mini-sub pilots told officials in debriefings afterward that from their vantage point, looking up through the clear water, the boat still seemed to be a safe distance away, and they had doubted that the mini-subs had been spotted. But the SEALs at the shore saw it differently. In the dark, featureless sea, the boat to them seemed to be practically on top of the mini-subs. Oh, so that's what a mini-sub looks like. Oh, that's interesting. So it's a wet, this is what they call a wet sub, where it's basically you're just in water. Okay. This is a SEAL delivery vehicle. Okay. With the communications blacked out, there was no way for the shore team to confer with the mini-subs. Lights from the boat swept over the water. The SEALs didn't know if they were seeing a security patrol on the hunt for them, or a simple fishing crew oblivious to the high-stakes mission unfolding around them. A man from the North Korean boat splashed into the sea. If the shore team got into trouble, the nuclear-powered sub had a group of SEAL reinforcements standing by with inflatable speedboats. Farther offshore, stealth rotary aircraft were positioned on U.S. Navy ships, with even more special operations troops ready to sweep in if needed. The SEALs faced a critical decision, but there was no way to discuss the next move. The mission commander was miles away on the big submarine. With no drones and a communications blackout, many of the technological advantages that the SEALs normally relied on had been stripped away, leaving a handful of men in wet neoprene unsure of what to do. As the shore team watched the North Korean in the water, the senior enlisted SEAL at the shore chose a course of action. He wordlessly centered his rifle and fired. The other SEALs instinctively did the same. If the SEALs were unsure whether the mission had been compromised before they fired, they had no doubt afterward. The plan required the SEALs to abort immediately if they encountered anyone. North Korean security forces could be coming. There was no time to plant the device. The shore team swam to the boat to make sure that all of the North Koreans were dead. They found no guns or uniforms. Evidence suggested that the crew, which people briefed on the mission said numbered 2 or 3 people, had been civilians diving for shellfish. All were dead, including the man in the water. Officials familiar with the mission said the SEALs pulled the bodies into the water to hide them from the North Korean authorities. One added that the SEALs punctured the boat crew's lungs with knives to make sure their bodies would sink. Wow. Yikes. The SEALs swam back into the mini-subs and sent a distress signal. Believing that the SEALs were in imminent danger of capture, the big nuclear submarine maneuvered into shallow water close to the shore, taking a significant risk to pick them up. It then sped toward the open ocean. All the U.S. military personnel escaped unharmed. Immediately afterward, U.S. spy satellites detected a surge of North Korean military activity in the area, U.S. officials said. North Korea did not make any public statements about the deaths, and U.S. officials said it was unclear whether the North Koreans ever pieced together what had happened and who was responsible. Well, now they do. Do they read the New York Times? Okay. The nuclear summit in Vietnam went ahead as planned at the end of February 2019, but the talks quickly ended with no deal. By May, North Korea had resumed missile tests. Gal, I wonder if you put out like a little dish with sugar water, if the bird will go to the sugar water. I don't know. Now I'm making up stuff. I don't even know how birds act. Mr. Dump and Mr. Kim went once more that June in the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. It made for dramatic television, with Mr. Dump even stepping across into North Korea. But the brief meeting yielded little more than a handshake. In the months that followed, North Korea fired more missiles than in any previous year, including some capable of reaching the United States. Since then, the United States estimates North Korea has amassed 50 nuclear warheads and material to produce about 40 more. The aborted SEAL mission prompted a series of military reviews during Mr. Dump's first term. They found that the killing of the civilians was justified under the rules of engagement, and that the mission was undone by a collision of unfortunate occurrences that could not have been foreseen or avoided. Findings were classified. The Trump administration never told leaders of key committees in Congress that oversee military and intelligence activities about the operation or the findings, government officials said. In doing so, the Trump administration may have violated federal law, said Matthew Waxman, a law professor at Columbia University who served in national security positions under former President George W. Bush. Mr. Waxman said that the law has gray areas that give presidents some leeway on what they tell Congress, but on more consequential missions, the burden leans more towards notification. The point is to ensure that Congress isn't kept in the dark when major stuff is going on, Mr. Waxman said. This is exactly the kind of thing that would normally be briefed to the committees and something the committees would expect to be told about. Many of the people involved in the mission were later promoted. But the episode worried some experienced military officials with knowledge of the mission because the SEALs have an uneven track record that for decades has largely been concealed by secrecy. Elite Special Operations units are regularly assigned some of the most difficult and dangerous tasks. Over the years, the SEALs have had a number of major successes, including hits on terrorist leaders, high profile rescues of hostages, and the takedown of bin Laden, that have built an almost superhuman public image. But among some in the military who have worked with them, the SEALs have a reputation for devising overly bold and complex missions that go badly. Team 6's debut mission, which was part of the U.S. invasion of Grenada in 1983, is a case in point. Ugh. The plan was to parachute into the sea, race to the coast in speedboats, and plant beacons to guide assault forces to the island's airport. But the SEALs' plane took off late. They jumped at night and landed in stormy conditions, weighed down by heavy gear. 4 SEALs drowned, and the rest swamped their speedboats. The airfield was later seized by Army Rangers who parachuted directly onto the airfield. It's the Grenada in 1983. Since then, SEALs have mounted other complex and daring missions that unraveled in Panama, Afghanistan, Yemen, and Somalia. During a rescue mission in Afghanistan in 2010, Team 6 SEALs accidentally killed a hostage they were trying to rescue with a grenade and then misled superiors about how she had died. In part because of this track record, Barack Obama curtailed special operations missions late in his second term and increased oversight, reserving complex commando raids for extraordinary situations like hostage rescues. The first Trump administration reversed many of those restrictions and cut the amount of high level deliberation for sensitive missions. A few days after taking office in 2017, Mr. Trump skipped over much of the established deliberative process to greenlight a Team 6 raid on a village in Yemen. That mission left 30 villagers and a SEAL dead and destroyed a $75 million stealth aircraft. When President Joe Biden succeeded Mr. Trump, the gravity of the North Korea mission attracted renewed scrutiny. Mr. Biden's Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin ordered an independent investigation conducted by the Lieutenant General and in charge of the Army Inspector General's office. In 2021, the Biden administration briefed key members of Congress on the findings, a former government official said. Those findings remain classified. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's catch up. Let me go ahead and get you back to some nice little fireside. This Ghislaine Maxwell nonsense is. What fuckery do we have here? We're definitely gonna read that. Let me just pull up some of the stuff, yeah. Yeah. So this happened when Trump cut his trip short when distracted from the Michael Cohen testimony. Is that when that happened? What a world. Made me think of something else, but now I can't think of it. I'm off the coast of North Korea. I'd rather be with my sweet Maria. Hey, you know what? Actually, that's a great song, Neil. I love it. J for genius. Whoa, what's going on? The cats are destroying the room. Just so you know. Just so you know what's really happening. Okay, wait, let me go to this. I want to pull up this one too. I'm off the coast of North Korea. I want to see my friend Maria. All right, let me see. What do I got here? I got so much stuff. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god. I got some cryptocurrency. I've got a new republic. Oh my god. I've got so much. Okay, that's okay. Just settle in, kids. That sorry, I came in the middle. Was that a link? It certainly was a link from Cal. Uh-huh. Do you need me to blah, 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 blah. Do you need me to repost the article link, Lee? Because I know sometimes when chat moves, you can no longer see what's happening. I'm off the coast of North Korea. I'd rather be with my wife, Maria. Sorry. I just really like that song, Neil. I don't know what to tell you. Maria. La, 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 la. Sorry. Okay, I'm losing it. It's Friday. Come on now. It's Friday. It's Friday. Oh my god. This little man will not stop bothering me. Okay. And then I'm off the shore of North Korea. I'm thinking about my wife, Maria. I'm sorry. This is why I'm single. I know why I'm single. Don't worry. Okay. Oops, there's the link to the story that it'll get you there eventually. All right. On the Neil, you're gonna you've just basically given me my whole day. My whole day is gonna be I'm at the shore of North Korea. Na, 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 na. Yes, Peter Thiel is the Antichrist. He's the one we really need to work. Dumb work Zoom kept me from you today. Karen, I'm so glad you're here. I'm way behind. Well, it's okay because I just keep singing your song over and over again. Okay. Neil says, I love how this mission had to be done in complete silence with a communication blackout, yet someone thought it was smart to gun the mini sub engines to get a better parking space. Oh my god. I can't. I cannot. Okay. Right. Oh, a baby voice opportunity. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm on the coast of North Korea. Oh, excellent. This is so great. Is this from today? Oh my god, this is from right now. I'm on the coast of North Korea. I'm missing my wife, Maria. I wish my camera worked because you would see me laughing, but it doesn't work. It's okay. I've got to fix it. I need to smoke a little more weed before we get into I'm sitting down. It'd probably be a better country song. I don't know why I just made it like a Neil Diamond song. I think you're right. It would have been a better. It would have been a better. It would have been a better country song, but I made it a send my wife a letter. Da 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 da. Yeah. Oh, what is that? Tony Orlando and Dawn. I was thinking more Tony Orlando and Dawn. I'm sitting on North Korea. I'm missing my wife Maria. I'm swimming through cold and choppy water. Maria wants to have a daughter. Oh my god, Neil, this is it. You and I are the next big song. Oh my god, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. I love that song. I used to love that song when I was a kid. I used to thought, oh my god, this is such a great song. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. Joints on the pipes. Bing, bing. I don't even know. I don't even know the words to that song. I used to watch their show all the time, though. Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. I used to fucking watch that show all the time. I thought it was great. I love Dawn. I think those women were amazing. Okay, here we go. Oh, wait.
Did somebody say baby voice? Did somebody say baby voice? I think somebody said baby voice. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think somebody said. Can we hear the baby voice? Okay. Let's hear. I love Sonny and Cher. Oh my god. I love the Cher show too. Okay. Post Sonny and Cher. I love the Cher show. Okay. All right. This is a baby voice opportunity. Okay, here we go. Now you guys gotta listen because I wrote this and I was really upset. Okay? I'm very mad. I'm mad about this Jeffrey Epstein stuff. You guys won't stop talking about it. I don't even know. I didn't even enjoy my time. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Wait for this. Wait for this, people. You're gonna be amazed. Okay, here we go. The confused and badly failing Democrat Party did nothing about Jeffrey Epstein while he was alive except befriend him, socialize with him, travel to his island, and take his money. Does that mean that's what I did? They knew everything there was to know about Epstein, but now, years after his death, they, out of nowhere, are seeming to show such love and heartfelt concern for his victims. Does anybody really believe that? Where were they during his very public trials and for all of those years before his death? The answer is nowhere to be found. The now dying, after the DOJ gave thousands of pages of documents in full compliance with a very comprehensive and exacting subpoena from Congress, Epstein case was only brought back to life by the radical left Democrats because they're doing so poorly with the lowest poll numbers in the history of the party. 16%! Somebody told me that. While the Republicans are doing so well, among the highest approval numbers in the party has ever had. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Ever. I know what happened, Mr. Dump. You took the guy who was supposed to prosecute Jeffrey Epstein, and to keep him quiet, you made him Secretary of Labor. Okay, that's what happened, Mr. Dumpy. Okay, anyways. Epstein case was only brought back to life. Oh, wait, I read that already. Okay, never mind. Blah, blah, blah. The Dems don't care about the victims. Wait, they did start caring about the victims, but they didn't really care about the victims. As proven by the fact that they never did before. Nobody ever cared. They were like, Jeffrey Epstein, I think he's great. I don't know. What are you talking about? That's what everybody said. This is merely another Democrat hoax. Just like Russia, and all of the others in order to deflect and distract from the great success of a Republican president. That's me! And the record-setting failure of the previous administration, Autopin, and the Democrat Party. The Department of Justice has done its job. Done. And they've given everything requested of them, so just stop it. Hi, Scott. Where am I? Oh, yeah, has done its job. It's time to end the Democrat Epstein hoax and give the Republicans credit for the great, even legendary job that they are doing. Make America great again, God damn it.
Okay, there you go. I'm back. I'm like, ooh, whose voice is that? Oh, somebody's a little upset about the Epstein stuff. Dang it! Really? What's the matter? Let's see, which one is this? Oh yeah, I wanna read this too. Why would Biden care about Epstein? That's a DOJ issue, not a White House issue. Sorry, preaching to the choir. I mean, I think people did care. It's called a cover up. And somebody should ask Alex fucking Acosta. Why don't we talk to Alex Acosta? Okay? That's the thing. Baby voice is the best. You could have a separate, I could have just a whole channel, right, of dump rants on baby voice. Maybe I'll do that. I should probably do that. If I had energy, I'd probably do that. It sounds like a great idea. Badger, why would anyone care? Oh, yeah. Thanks. I'm caught up. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm caught up. All right. I pulled this one. I don't know if this was a Tina thing. This might have been a Tina share. I've been trying to do better notes and I'm failing miserably. But this is a piece. Transcript: Trump lets slip dark truth about his plot to rig the midterms. Oops. This is a piece from the New Republic from, when was this? And what? Oh my God. Okay, we get it. You guys want advertising money. I get it. Oh, August 19th. So this is a little bit older, but I hadn't read it. Oh, wait. Is this just a. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, it's an interview. Dang it. Okay. Well, we're going to do our interview thing where we try to pick through and get the most important thing. You're having blueberry toaster pastries? Yummy. Tina Peters. What about Tina Peters? Is Tina Peters. Did she die? All right. This is again August 19th. Greg Sargent, the New Republic. On Monday, and this would have been early August, President Dump unleashed a long, tortured rant on Truth Social, rehashing many of his favorite lies about the supposed fraudulence of voting by mail. He also made a concrete announcement. He's going to try and end mail voting entirely by executive order. Can Dump do that? Well, no, legally speaking, and he theoretically can't. But we think it's folly to leave the matter there. Nothing, no matter how absurd seeming, can be ruled out at this point. And if you look at Trump's eruption carefully, you can see that he clearly let slip his broader intent to abuse presidential power in every conceivable way he can to swing the midterm elections against Democrats. Today, we're talking about all this with David Daley, who's one of the best analysts out there, blah, 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 blah. He's been arguing that Trump's effort to get Texas to gerrymander 5 new GOP House seats is part of a much bigger scheme. One has roots going back decades. Blah, blah, blah. David Daley. Okay. So Trump had this long, Greg Sargent. So Trump had this long eruption on True Social in which he lied relentlessly about vote by mail. And he said he'll begin this new movement to end it. But here's the key part. We will begin this effort by signing an executive order to help bring honesty to the 2026 midterm elections. Now, some quick context here. Dump already tried to vastly curtail vote by mail with another executive order earlier this year, but it's blocked in the courts. This looks like he's going to revisit the idea with something even more radical, an abolishment to vote by mail entirely. What's your reaction to this, David? Here we go again, right? This is all of Donald Dump's favorite lines about election fraud, vote by mail, and about how the 2020 election was stolen from him. And once again, all of these lines have no basis in reality. There is no truth to any of it. Whenever Republicans are asked to put up any proof whatsoever about voter fraud, they can't do it. You can't find actual examples of this. It is a technique to intimidate and to scare voters. I'm certain that we will see much more of it, but it comes from a place of weakness, of fear, and we have to stand up and fight. Well, he certainly can't legally end vote by mail by fiat, Greg Sargent says. The Constitution assigns the authority to set the time, places, and manner of elections to the states and says Congress can alter those regulations. But in another part of his rant, Trump says that the states are merely an agent for the federal government in counting and tabulating votes. That's nonsense. He also says that states must do what the federal government, as represented by the President of the United States, tells them for the good of our country to do. I'm wondering, Dave, if Trump is going to try and make some sweeping argument about national security and vote by mail undermining it to assert some very broad presidential powers here. What do you expect him to argue in legal terms to try and assert his power to do this? Daily. I expect Trump to argue exactly that this is a national security question, that this is about voter fraud, that there are non-Americans voting in elections, that there are dead people voting in elections, immigrants, all of which we know not to be true. You can't actually find documented examples of this from American elections. It simply does not happen. What we are seeing, though, I think, is going to be a real effort to militarize the nation ahead of the 2026 elections. This might be done in the name of purportedly stopping voter fraud, but really it will be done in the name of trying to intimidate Democratic voters and keeping them away from the polls. We're seeing what's happening right now in Washington, D.C., with National Guard troops on the ground. We see red state governors sending National Guardsmen from their states. And if we think that this is going to stop in Washington, D.C., it's not. And if we think that this is not likely to happen in Detroit and Milwaukee and Atlanta and Philadelphia and all of the places that Donald Trump already blames for costing him the 2020 election, I do expect that we will see ICE enforcement on the ground, National Guard troops in these cities, and that there will be a full-on effort to intimidate and suppress Democratic voters. Greg Sargent, I expect that as well. Before we get into that a little more deeply, do you think Donald Trump will essentially put out an executive order saying something about ending vote by mail? And do you really think that he or his administration will argue in the courts that he, as the commander in chief, has the authority to do something like this in order to protect the nation on a national security basis? Is that what you expect? Daily. I expect that they will make some sort of argument along those lines that there is a connection between voter fraud and national security. It's laughable on its face, but I find that lots of things laughable on their face could be taken quite seriously in certain federal courts. Greg Sargent, 100%, especially the highest one. I just want to quickly highlight the fact before we forget that Trump explicitly tied this effort to the midterm elections in his tweet. That gives away the scam entirely. It's only about the midterms. You put that together with Trump's naked assertion of utterly absurd powers to end vote by mail, and the larger story comes into view. I think you were getting at it. Trump is showing with this insane rant that he fully intends to maximally abuse presidential powers in every way possible to try and rig and swing the midterms. It's not an accident that this is all happening while he's militarizing cities. In the run up to the 2026 elections, you really could see other kinds of military maneuvers, maybe in Democratic strongholds or in swing areas, that are designed, as you say, to intimidate voters from coming out or possibly to foment and manufacture a crisis atmosphere that they think helps Republicans. That's the story, right? We're looking at an open advertising of his intent to maximally abuse presidential powers to rig the midterms. David Daly, that's the game. This is the game. He has never been quite so explicit before linking what they're trying to do to Republicans holding power in the midterms. This is not an accident. This is an alarm. And if we don't react seriously to all of the things that we are seeing and link them together and understand that this is the path we are headed down, we are not going to be prepared to stop it next fall. Greg Sargent, I'm glad you put it that way, linking all these things together, because there's this tendency in the discourse to treat each thing in isolation. Whether it's Trump occupying LA with troops, that's one story. Trump occupying DC with troops, that's another story. Trump threatening to end vote by mail by fiat, that's still another story. But when you connect them, you can see the broader intent here. This is all the same story. This is an effort to change the very basic nature of American democracy. This is the institution of American authoritarianism, and it is happening right here in front of us. And if we don't call it that, and if we don't recognize that all of these things are tied together, we are going to be powerless to stop it. This is the moment in which we have to stand up to this and say no. Greg, speaking of Trump making things more explicit than ever before, we're now seeing him pressure Texas state legislators to redraw their congressional map to create 5 new seats. That's now apparently going to happen. As you wrote in your great book, Rat Fucked, they basically supercharged it as a technique after the 2010 elections. So when Trump goes out and just explicitly tells Texas state legislators to do this, it's yet another level of the slide into authoritarianism we're talking about here. California is planning their own redrawing in response. Can you bring us up to date on the Texas and California stories right now? Daily, what we are watching is the latest chapter in a long Republican effort to use gerrymandering as a blunt force partisan weapon and a tool to lock in their own version of minority rule. Because the state was already gerrymandered back in 2021, they're going to add 5 additional seats. It's going to give them 30 of 38. If this goes according to plan, the Texas Democrats who walked out to deny a quorum are basically back in Austin, and this is how this is going to proceed. They were never going to be able to stop this forever. California is getting ready this week to try and put a special election before the voters there in November that would essentially suspend their independent commission and give lawmakers the ability to do a retaliatory gerrymander of California that would add 5 seats to the Democratic column there. That would make it a 48-4 map. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Oops. The cat is sitting under my feet. Okay. Now, what you often see in the media is the sense that, well, California will cancel out Texas. First, Texas can do this as simple as passing a law, and California is going to take voters winning a special election to have the right to do this. And I don't think that's necessarily guaranteed. I want to read that again. First, Texas can do this as simple as passing a law, and California is going to take voters winning a special election to have the right to do this. So do you see the difference between California and Texas? Gavin is putting this above the putting it before the people. Okay? And we have a lot of red, Grace Lisa, right? Like all through the Central Valley, into Northern California, here in Southern Cal. I mean, it is everywhere. There's definitely enough red people, like red areas of this state. Adding the link in Discord to the Federal Register notice that codifies giving customs and immigration powers to arrest people. What? Oh, Lee, I've got to get that. Did Tina Peters drink a bad cup of toilet wine? What happened? What happened? Oh, I see. Grace Lisa. Tina comes to mind immediately when Dump says anything about voting. I know Max Schlump himself does actually vote by mail. Jim, Schlump can't vote. He's a felon. Oh my God. Since Slump was not incarcerated in NY, his voting rights were not revoked. Oh, whatever. That's okay. Voters hate gerrymandering, and going to them and saying we have to gerrymander is a tough fight. And there's going to be hundreds of millions of dollars spent on the other side. I know, I'm not looking forward to this at all. That said, Republicans are not going to stop in Texas. They're going to keep moving. They're going to Ohio next. There's 2 Democratic seats they can pick up there pretty easily. Ron DeSantis in Florida says he's looking at 5 Democratic districts, 3 in South Florida, 1 in Tampa, and 1 in Orlando. I don't think he can get all of them, but he could probably pick up at least 2 or 3. Missouri and Indiana have already suggested that they're going to wipe out 1 Democratic seat. And if Democrats want to retaliate for those, they're essentially out of targets. There's nowhere left for them to go on the map. I don't think you can get much more out of Illinois or Maryland. A governor of Oregon has said that they're not going to do this. If Republicans decide to keep going and turn this into an all-out wildfire, they could lock in anywhere from an additional 6 to 12 seats in Congress, making it very, very difficult for Democrats to take back the House in the midterms. I just want to read that to you again about why this is so important. If Republicans decide to keep going and turn this into an all-out wildfire, they could lock in anywhere from an additional 6 to 12 seats in Congress, making it very, very difficult for Democrats to take back the House in the midterms. And let me say this very clearly, not for you all in the chat, but for the people who might be listening who don't necessarily agree with me. The reason that this is different isn't because, there's some policy differences between us. Good morning, Val. There's policy differences between the Republicans and the Democrats. No, it's because the Republican candidates are purely there to support an authoritarian regime. And if you notice, he's not winning on the policy. This administration is not winning. Hi, Clark. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you. He's not winning on the merits of his policy. He's actually being fought tooth and nail by the courts. So the courts have already informed this administration that much of their policy, quote unquote, is illegal. So this is not we just want to make everything fair and all this kind of stuff. This is the Republican Party in this country has a job to do, which is to shut out opposing voices when it comes to, bodily autonomy, when it comes to the quality of education, when it comes to ensuring that we have a diverse and inclusive society, to ensure that we act with humanity, to ensure that we don't illegally kidnap people off the streets. That is what, okay? That is what the difference is. This is not a traditional, oh, I don't know, hawks. There's like Iran hawks on the other side, and that's what we're fighting against. No, no. This is not just a policy difference about how to approach Iran or something like that. This is literally the turn of this country. The turn of this country. So this is incredibly important, and that's why I do support the gerrymandering, because I do support it, because what Gavin has said, and Gavin is whatever, but Gavin has said that this is an extraordinary action that we are taking in an extraordinary moment, and he acknowledges, and we have to hold him to it. So it's not like we have to just trust what he says, obviously. And I actually think there's something going on that I'm not really like. There's some weirdness with Gavin going on beyond his normal problematic stances that I'm curious about. But nonetheless, here we are in this moment, and in this moment, I believe this is a good move, only to protect humanity. I mean, literally, because the stakes are so high. And the reason I think the stakes are high is because life has changed in this country. And it may not have changed in your city, but it is coming, because it has changed in Los Angeles. It has changed in Washington, D.C. It's about to change in Chicago. ICE has upped their operations across the country. There was a raid in Georgia today. So I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. These are the early days of the Nazi regime. And what would we have done in the early days of the Nazi regime to stop the killing of millions of people? What would we have done, knowing now what we know? So that's why this seems like a much more important and extraordinary story to me, that these are extraordinary times, and I think it's okay to admit that. Sorry to go on, but this really strikes me as the midterms are very frightening to me. And this seems like a very, very important, inflection point. And if Democrats want to retaliate for those, they're essentially out of targets. Right. So, presuming that California does squeak out that 5 extra seats, I think it's likely that Newsom will succeed, although hardly guaranteed. That would cut Republican margin. How do you expect it all to shake out? Do you expect Republicans to walk out of this with a significant new batch of seats and a significant leg up in the midterms as a result? Or is there a decent chance that maybe some of these efforts peter out and Democrats manage to do a few mitigating things here and there to make it close to a wash? What's the most likely outcome? Daily. I think Republicans are going to pick up multiple seats here. Ohio is less a mid-decade redraw than it is a mandated one. The current congressional map in Ohio was only a 4-year map, so they are definitely going to go ahead and redraw there. DeSantis vowed to pick up 4 seats back in 2021 and did so. I take him seriously when he says they're going to reopen the maps there. J.D. Vance has been to Indiana and encouraged those lawmakers. Missouri lawmakers have effectively said they're going to come back into session and get rid of the seat held by Representative Cleaver in Kansas City. Do I think Republicans go too much further than that? No, I don't think they'll go to Kansas or Kentucky or Tennessee or North Carolina, Georgia, New Hampshire, but those are possibilities if they decide to. And the thing about the Democratic side is that they don't really have anywhere else to go. And all of this is before, and I don't want to complicate this too much, but the U.S. Supreme Court is going to hear another case on voting rights this fall, essentially regarding the constitutionality of a majority-minority seats across the South. We all know how John Roberts feels about the Voting Rights Act. Whenever he has a chance to put one more section in the shredder, he tends to take that opportunity. This could result in black Democratic seats across the South being wiped off the map next year. So the combination of mid-decade redistricting and the threat to majority-minority districts currently before the U.S. Supreme Court could dramatically expand the number of seats Democrats would have to win to take back the House. Sergeant, that's a pretty terrible thought. Now I want to go big picture. For a long time, Democrats have tried to stand for an ideal in which fair play in politics is a virtue. Yes, both parties have gerrymandered, but generally speaking, the Democrats have actually tried to take that out of politics. They've implemented things like nonpartisan redistricting commissions to try and take politics out of map drawing. They've tried to make voting easier, not just for Democratic voters, but for Republican ones as well, with things like automatic voter registration. These efforts, however, have been met with years of nonstop voter suppression by Republicans aimed expressly and deliberately at Democratic constituencies, by the GOP rallying behind an effort to steal an election outright, and now an explicit effort directed by the president himself to gerrymander ostentatiously for the express purpose of holding power in the 2026 midterms. And now that you've got Democrats fighting back with California gerrymander, the usual media voices are accusing them of hypocrisy. But Dems are simply saying both parties should play by the same set of rules. How do you think about this broader set of dilemmas? Can you help us understand them? Daily. I think what all of this shows is how badly we need a national standard. It shows how dramatically John Roberts and the U.S. Supreme Court failed us in the Rucho versus Common Cause case in 2019 when they closed the federal courts to partisan gerrymandering claims and invited the festival of partisan gerrymandering that we saw in 2021 and this mid-decade wildfire that we are seeing right now. So much of this can be laid at Roberts' doorstep. He absolutely incentivized this. Democrats have got to understand, though, that they can't gerrymander their way out of their gerrymandering problem. Agreed. They don't have the numbers to make it work in 2026, and when reapportionment comes in 2030, and I don't think enough of us are talking about this or thinking about it, you're going to lose 4 seats from California, probably 2 seats from New York, a seat in Michigan, maybe 1 in Illinois, Minnesota, Rhode Island. These are seats from blue states going down to red states. They're going to Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, Florida, Arizona. So we can't permanently try and use gerrymandering the same way Republicans have. We're going to have to find a way to go into those states where there are still swing districts. And there are 2 in Iowa, in Minnesota, 1 in Minnesota, 3 in Pennsylvania, 1 in Virginia. There's enough swing districts out there. It's a very difficult strategy, and I know this is horribly unsatisfying at a time that Republicans are using executive orders and gerrymandering and voter suppression and calling the National Guard to say, well, we just have to win a bunch of swing districts. Sounds like I'm a goody-goody, but nothing else is going to work. The map is about to get harder, not easier. And if we can't find a way to go into states where we sometimes, the national brand is toxic and persuade voters and then have a dramatic plan of action for big structural reform when we take back trifecta power that actually thinks more about a more proportional House, that thinks about the role of the U.S. Senate, that reflects upon the size and scope of the U.S. Supreme Court, that thinks about the Electoral College, that thinks about adding states when we need our own doggy for structural reform when we take power back in Washington, and we have to be prepared to use it to act boldly. That's the piece of this we have to take from the Republicans, the willingness to act boldly. And I'm reminded too of this is my aside, I'm reminded too of what happened in the recent Brazilian elections where, Bolsonaro, what happened to Bolsonaro anyway? He's almost done with. The response that the Brazilians had to Bolsonaro's attempt to hold on to power, what seemed to be an appropriate one, and I wonder, they said no, we're going to hold you accountable and we're going to follow through. Hold on, let me see if I can get an update on Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro. Nah, nah. Let's see. Most recent. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, there's a podcast about the Bolsonaro trial. Oh, I want to listen to that. Oh, I kind of want to read this. 5 hours ago, Brazilian. Hold on. they're in closing arguments, I think. Wait, what did it just say? Oh shit balls. Okay. Sorry, I know this is frustrating. You're just listening to me go groaning. I just want to bring this up briefly. Charges against Brazil's Bolsonaro are political, says lawyer. The lawyer for Brazil's president, Bolsonaro, has told the Supreme Court that his client should be acquitted, arguing that these charges against him are political. So I think they're making final arguments today. The lawyer was, or presenting the defense's case, I mean. The lawyer was responding to allegations that Bolsonaro had plotted a coup, blah, blah, blah. Wait, come on, I want to go. Wait, the trial against Bolsonaro and 7 co-defendants at Brazil's Supreme Court is at its final phase. Here we go. And a verdict is expected next week. Okay, great. We're going to hold on to that one. Oops, that's not where I was. Where was I? Where was I? Ah, 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 ah. Oh, here we go. Anyway. Just reading about an ICE raid. Yes, I just read about that too, Lee. Reading about an ICE raid on a Hyundai EV plant in Georgia, detaining Koreans, looking to pressure the South into peace with the North so Clump can. Oh no, you're kidding me. Are you kidding me? Is that part of the game, Lee? Is to reunite Koreas? Are you kidding me? What? Oh my God, I can't. The verdict sentencing, yeah. It's in the verdict and sentencing phase. Yeah, I mean, the verdict comes down next week, it said, which is good. Reapportionment. I'm not sure I know. Fuck the goddamn electoral college. I agree. Mom reports seeing Make Orwell Fiction Again sign at Dunkin' Donuts. Good morning, Oomph. That's a really good one. I like that. I like that one. Okay, let me finish up with this interview in the New Republic, and then we got so much to go over. This show has only begun. That's what I read about his goal of reunification. I'll drop the link in court. Thank you, Lee. That makes a lot of sense now that you say it. I don't know. Orlando is still blue. Yeah. Okay, making sure I didn't miss anything big. Okay, the map is about to get harder, not easier. And if we can't find a way to go into state. Oh, wait, oops. I already read that. What we need in this moment is a strategy that will actually work. Yeah. And that is going to require not doing exactly what they're doing, but focusing laser beam on the district so that we can still win and finding the way to 218 seats. Greg, just to close this out, to return to the fair play question for a second, ultimately the real answer to Republican abuses of power and Republican gamesmanship and rigging of elections in every way that they possibly can is for Democrats to be willing to use their power when they have it nationally, when they have a trifecta, to impose reforms that really enforce a real standard of fair play on our elections once and for all. Is that the size of it? Yes. Yes. And Daley says, that's exactly right. Yes. Yes. Merrick Garland. We have seen how quickly the federal government can be transformed by those who are willing to act boldly and use federal power. Democrats, the last time we had trifecta power, we treated those voting rights bills essentially as omnibus messaging packages. And we were willing to let them go down to defend the anti-democratic filibuster. And we are paying the consequences for that now, in addition to paying the consequences for falling asleep on the importance of redistricting 15 years ago. We could have taken some of these very popular pieces of the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Act and forced individual votes on redistricting, on mid-decade gerrymanders, on automatic voter registration, and all of the things that make that the American people are with us on. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, and we didn't take that opportunity. We have to learn how to play politics better and actually use power once we have it. That's what it's there for. Ha! That's a good one. It's so true, yeah, yeah, it's true to you. Joe Rogan. Oh, what? Oh, I must have stopped following everybody when I got cut off of. When you get cut off of Twitter, you have to go back and refollow people. All right, here we go. Here's a Jim piece in which Joe Rogan. Wait, here we go. In which Joe Rogan starts to process the fact that Peter Thiel is the Antichrist.
Does he know about the Antichrist? Is he like?
I'm guessing a lot.
If you told me there was a movie and there was a guy who played the Antichrist, zoom in on that image of him.
Yeah.
I would say, oh, is that him? Was that the Antichrist?
Though strange to have this. You build military AI, military drone, autonomous drone technology. To export to war zones all over the world. You build domestic surveillance technology to surveil our friends and neighbors. And then your other pet passion is the Antichrist. It's odd. Wouldn't you include tennis? Wouldn't you go, and I'm big into tennis? Something else. It's odd, and I like ice fishing. I build autonomous drone technology. I build domestic surveillance technology.
And I love lake trout.
And I love lake trout. And I love big mouth bass fishing.
Yeah.
But instead, he goes, and I've also developed quite a keen interest in Satan. And I'd love to... And I'd love to talk to everyone about it for 4 fucking things in San Francisco. 4 things in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Seems a bit much.
That's a good one. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's funny. All right, let's see. What else have I got? I've got so much. Hold on. Na, 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 na. La, 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 la. Let me see what the best one is. Hold on. Da, 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 da. I don't know if this, if I can read this story. Hold on, let me see if it lets me read the whole story. Oh, this is the whole story. This is the story that Jim's talking about, the Daily Beast story. Okay, hold on. I am going to read this. It's all coming together, yeah. I don't have a Daily Beast subscription, so. Let's see. In a work meeting yesterday, it was mentioned that the trade, quote, deal with Japan was moving forward, but Korea is still in negotiation. The U.S. and Korea had an agreement 20 years ago still in place. I just don't even get it. I don't even get it. We own a place in Vero Beach. It's about as red as you can be. People assume I'm a Republican. I just keep my mouth shut. I know, Jim, you're really good at like floating between like spaces, but you say the same things. Like I watch you. Sometimes I've seen you in like Tommy Tempers, which is full of chuds. And Jim will say just really normal, like, he gets away with it. Like, I get attacked, Jim. The minute I go into a chat, I get attacked. I get told I'm a cunt. I get told I'm a fucking loser lefty that deserves... In fact, I got threatened by AMC Kingdom and Daisy the other day saying that they'd like someone... AMC Kingdom, this character on YouTube... said that he would pay someone to come the next time I'm in my dinosaur suit. He would pay for someone to come and beat me up. Literally. So you, Jim, on the other hand, go about your business being a lefty, I think, and dropping all this knowledge, and you get away with it. I get eviscerated. And people want to hurt me. Okay? Well, how does that work? How's that work? Daisy is glad that I got shot in the back with a rubber bullet. She thinks that's the funniest thing she's ever heard. And she says it every time I show up in a chat. I know I'm a girl, that's why. Anyway. I guess I'm also an asshole. If you look at it from a MAGA perspective, I'm probably an asshole. But it is what it is. I'd rather be an asshole to MAGA if you really think about it. I think I'm winning on that one. Anyway, playing with India and Korea using tariffs as leverage. I'm going to tell you, Lee, this has to kind of backfire at some point. Like sometimes the piper is going to need to be paid, right? On all this trade stuff. I just can't even. Oh, he's totally unwatchable, Max. No, I mean, it's not. I don't stay in any of these chats. I go in, and drop bullshit, and then getting exactly. It's a compliment. No, I just think it's hilarious because Jim's really good at that. He can just like hang in those groups, and nobody tells him to go fuck himself. Why doesn't anyone don't go tell you to go fuck yourself, Jim Nalgren. One of the great questions of the last 3 years. Why do you never get kicked out of any fucking, no one ever comes after you. I mean, I admire it actually, but I don't know. All right, let's see. Well, Peter Thiel's AI Palantir, speaking of the Antichrist, Peter Thiel's AI Palantir is supercharging Trump's lawfare. I thought this was interesting. This is August 29th. It was updated, so Daily Beast piece. Take a sip of coffee. Delicious. Boy, my coffee has gone up, has almost doubled in price. The coffee brand that I buy, over the last 6 months, it has basically doubled in price for a pound of coffee. Actually, not quite. Maybe like almost doubled in price. Literally, almost. It's terrible. And coffee is coffee even on a tariff list right now? I don't even think it's on a fucking tariff list right now. I don't know. I don't get it. I come from a union family. People are shocked when they find out. I had to get the highest paying job I could to work my way through college. Team workers union. Yep, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Let's see. Let me just make sure there's nothing big. I'm just seeing if there's anything big happening in the news, which I can't even see anything. Okay, here we go. The software company, founded by billionaire Peter Thiel, has enabled his buddy, President Dump, to conduct hardcore AI lawfare beyond its previous bounds. Those bounds appear to now include the Federal Reserve Board after Trump told Governor Lisa Cook she was fired earlier this week, and now confirmed yesterday, by the way, fun fact, that they're doing a DOJ investigation on Lisa Cook because she must have done something on her mortgage application or something like that, which is interesting because Mr. 34 felony count was convicted of fraud in real estate. So it's so fucking weird that he would be able to hold anybody accountable for anything related to fraud. I mean, whatever. Okay. Those bounds appear now. Okay. The hit was achieved with the contrivance of an ever-striving 37-year-old Nepo baby with a heretofore forgettable name. Oh, he is Bill Pulte. God fucking Pulte. Pulte Holmes. Does that sound familiar? Who seized a chance to make a mark for himself when President Dump appointed him to the usually low-profile position of director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency. Oh, well, how can that help Pulte Holmes? Oh, I hate this world. Pulte took his first big step toward becoming his own man back in May when he announced that he had entered into a partnership with Thiel's Palantir to establish an AI-powered crime detection unit. There's the Antichrist. In a jumble of acronyms, the newly formed CDU would immediately start work at the Federal National Mortgage Association, Fannie Mae, which the FHFA oversees, along with a sibling, the Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation, Freddie Mac. No one is above the law, Pulte dramatically declared at a press conference, as if his liege Trump does not routinely act otherwise. Hello. Pulte continued, in partnership with Palantir, Fannie Mae's crime detection unit will increase safety and soundness by rooting out bad actors in our housing system. I don't really get that. What are they surveilling? Like, what, mortgage companies? Like, what are they surveilling? I don't get it. People stealing copper wire? I don't get it. In part, blah, blah, blah. Okay. There's Lisa Cook. I'm sorry, Miss Cook. I really apologize that you are in the middle of this nonsense. Fannie Mae President and CEO Priscilla Almodovar told reporters that in an early test, the Palantir-assisted CDU needed just seconds to detect fraud that investigators would have otherwise required months to identify. By integrating this leading AI technology, we will look across millions of data sets to detect patterns that were previously undetectable. Oh, so is there any possibility that when you're detecting patterns that those could come up with anomalies or other things that aren't illegal but still fit into the pattern? I don't know. I just have questions. This new partnership will combat mortgage fraud, helping to safeguard the U.S. mortgage market for lenders, homebuyers, and taxpayers. It seems to me when I remember working with fucking, when I was, when I worked with mortgage brokers and things like that, mortgage lenders and stuff like that, they were all into cheating. Okay, they were the ones who were encouraging you to be like, oh, well, look at this valuation and that valuation. Right? I mean, this is not this is not like unknown stuff. Oh, the Greg Sargent article. I'm so sorry. Let me get that for you. Hold on. I'm not sure. Oh, it's from the New Republic. I'll go ahead and throw it in the chat. Oh man, now I did it. I always get lost. Damn it, where'd I go? Where'd I go? Where'd I go? Hold on. Oh yeah, here we go. It's just like, isn't that what? Isn't it not our fault? Like, it's not our fault, right? It's not our fault. Oh, Section 8. Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, of course they'll go after people that. um. Uh. There. There's the Greg Sargent article. Are we great yet? I agree. Are we great again? Are we great again? Is that happening? Dem headshots. Yeah. Any excuse. When my brain is disordered with LSD, I detect patterns that were undetectable. Yeah, exactly. And those aren't bad patterns. Why does everything have to be illegal? I don't know. What's an LVAD? I don't know. What is an LVAD? I don't know. What is that, Jane? I don't know. My work installs cabinets in at new Pulte homes. Not me in particular. I have Taylor Morrison. Oh. Let's get cook on mortgage fraud. Let's get cook on mortgage. Harry Persiflage tried to claim his coffee hasn't gone up until I pointed out to him the packages. Yeah, see, Max, you have to go by the ounce. Left ventricle assistant device. What is that? Wait, what are we talking about? Did somebody get a pacemaker? Is that what you're talking about? Left ventricular assist device? Is that a pacemaker? Did somebody get a pacemaker? Trump got a pacemaker? Wait, what? Wait, what? Maybe, essentially. What? Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, people get old, they get old and sick. Oh shit. I just pulled up Reuters. Oh my god. You guys, I know I'm hopping all over the place today. I really apologize. I'm coming back to that. Don't worry. But US labor, this is a Reuters thing. US labor market cracks widen as job growth nearly stalls in August. Oops. We're not great again. You know what they're going to say? It's because the big beautiful bill hasn't been like implemented yet. That's what they're going to say. So just get ready for that. I'm calling it now. U.S. job growth weakened sharply in August while the unemployment rate increased to a nearly 4-year high of 4.3%, confirming labor market conditions were softening and sealing the case for an interest rate cut, blah, 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 blah. But look at this. Monthly change in U.S. jobs. Oh, I'll make this a little small. This is August of 2024. Okay. August of 2024, where my cursory is. And now, there's August of 2025. We're below a year ago. Thanks, Obama. I just wanted to see if there was anything in here about. Oh my God. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this other thing about U.S. deploying stealth fighters to Caribbean for drug fight as tensions. This is going to be a big thing. This whole, Caribbean, bombing people out of the water. We don't even know what was on that boat that they bombed, okay? We don't even know. We don't even know. I looked the procedure up, but it takes a long time to recover after the surgery. I mean, Nut Liquor is blaming the statistics board. Of course he is. Blame the messengers. Work paused at Hyundai's U.S. site after hundreds of workers are detained in raid. Dozens detained in U.S. immigration raids in New York State. I think that whole message of what in that Greg Sargent article is call it what it is. I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. Okay, I'm going to stop because I'm overwhelmed. All right. Oh my God, there's windmills in the water. I just wanted to see if there was something about him getting his fucking whatchamacallit. Oh God damn it. Okay, it's not there. I don't know. I'm all over the place. I apologize. Okay, let's go back to AI and Peter fucking Thiel. I'm still a piece of garbage. Hey, hi-fi. By integrating Oh wait, this new partnership. Okay, Palantir co-founder and current CEO Alex Karp predicted this partnership with Fannie Mae will set off a revolution in how we combat mortgage fraud in this country. So is mortgage fraud like a really big issue? I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just saying, is mortgage fraud like a huge motherfucking, like, is it stopping people from getting housing? Like, what is the damage here? Or is it just that people aren't making enough money? Because I'm very unsure. Really. New jobs. Since when is the USA the judge, jury, and executioner of suspected foreign drug smugglers? Right, Karen? That's an international crime, and it's on film. Like, they're proud. I know. I think their hubris will get the best of them. I guess. I hope. I don't know. Maybe in a perfect world, which this is not. But yeah, I don't think we will not. I hope we don't stop hearing about what happened in the Caribbean and the fact that you can't just blow people out. Yeah, we are an actual executioner. Yeah. The fraud is on the lender side, in my opinion, just to think back. Yeah, no, totally. I don't mean to diminish any kind of, but you can't tell me that they're going after, like, white-collar crime here, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing that Palantir is interested in white-collar crime and avoiding that. So, I don't know. It's just interesting to me. The value of such a I don't know, hunger? How about hunger, Palantir? Can you figure out how to feed children? Can you figure out how to educate them so that they have, can you do that? Has any Venezuelan reaction been posted? I thought I did see. Let me see. Here's one thing from France. France! Here's France! France. I'm in France and I'm in my underpants. All right, Maduro says Venezuela ready to respond to U.S. military presence in the Caribbean, France 24. This is from 3 days ago? Okay, well, we'll stick with it.
On high alert as Nicolas Maduro accuses Washington of planning an invasion. The Venezuelan president addressed a press conference on Monday in response to a build-up of U.S. ships in the Caribbean that he says threatens his country.
Venezuela is facing the greatest threat that the continent has seen in the last 100 years. 8 military ships with 1,200 missiles and a nuclear submarine are targeting Venezuela.
The U.S. Navy destroyer USS Sampson docked near the entrance to the Panama Canal on Saturday, one of several ships deployed to the region, Washington says, to combat drug cartels in the Caribbean, even though most drugs smuggled to the U.S. come via the Pacific. Maduro said his US counterpart was being influenced by a hawkish Secretary of State, a longtime critic of Caracas.
Donald Trump,
you should watch out, because Marco Rubio wants to stain your hands with blood, with South American blood, Caribbean blood, Venezuelan blood.
Venezuela's defense minister said the country was ready to fight and that 8 million reservists had signed up for the military. The Trump administration accuses Venezuela of transporting Colombian cocaine to the United States, but Maduro, while acknowledging the existence of drug trafficking in the country, denies any state involvement. Venezuela has long accused Washington of wanting to enact regime change in Caracas, including involvement in a failed 2002 military coup that dislodged former President Hugo Chavez from power for 48 hours.
Sorry. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Or or war. Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Max has an update. Venezuelan fighter jets buzzed an American ship. Let's see. Venezuela sent 2 F-16s to buzz U.S. naval vessels. Interesting. Oh my God. But that would take Venezuela claiming the victims and pursuing the international case. Yeah, your point about kind of pursuing it through the international courts of an attack on the Venezuelans. Well, this is yet another. I mean, for a guy who's like telling people, "I'm gonna solve all the wars," like literally everybody, we're actually at like lethal positioning with a number of people that we weren't in lethal positioning with before. Literally. Oh my God. I'm going to drop a link to the Discord because if you don't know about our Discord, you are insane. I mean, let me just, I need to show you the Discord. Hold on. Because this shit's bananas. This shit is bananas. This is our Discord. Our Discord is the best Discord. Our Discord is the best Discord. You can't see it very big because I can't make the screen any bigger. But if you look at our Discord's fucking. First of all, this. Come on now. Hi, Mikey. Mikey, one of our newest members of our Discord. Welcome. And we do Wordle every day. And we watch movies. Tonight, oh my gosh, tonight we're watching Big Trouble in Little China, suggested by GP. And then there'll be a midnight selection after that. But please join us on Discord. Let me go ahead and drop the link to the Discord here in the old chat. But our Discord is the most amazing Discord and a beautiful Discord. And all this great information that you get. It's beautiful. I love it. So I cannot tell you how genuinely happy in all of the sadness of my depression life. The Discord makes me so happy. It's like when I had a child, I thought, when I have a child, I just hope they're kind. Like I just want my child to be kind. You know what I mean? Like what you want for your children. Not that Discord is my child. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, if I had a Discord, I would want it to be filled with people who are just really nice and sharing information and funny and smart and blah, blah, blah. And that's exactly what we have at this moment. And I love it. North Korea Maria loves our Discord. XOXO Gossip Girl. Anyway. Yeah, let me drop the link to the Discord because we have the best Discord. Our Discord is the best Discord. I wonder why they call it Discord, because doesn't that sound like Discord, like bad? Like you're having Discord? It's discordant or something? Discord, our Discord is the best Discord. There's the Discord link. You can click it. You can join it. Don't be an asshole, because we'll kick you out. Anyway. Yeah, we have a great Discord. Okay. Let me go back. I know. I'm all over the place this morning. That's the way it is. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Oh, but don't you believe it? Off topic, but my new shoes are out for delivery. Fuck yeah. Got some comfy professional footwear for a conference next week. Didn't think my flip flops would be appropriate. The flip flops are always appropriate. I'm sorry. In my world. That's what I want to fight again. Make flip flops great again. That's what I want. Okay, here we go. Here we go now. The value of such a potent weapon against major fraud. We're talking about AI, Palantir, and mortgage fraud, okay, just to bring you back to reality, because I took you on a little trip. Stay alert for bombers heading north, eh? Yeah, hello. North Korea, Maria. I'm sending you a message. All right. The value of such a potent weapon against major fraud was undeniable if it was indeed wielded to protect working Americans, but the announcement received only modest attention, and it seemed that however grand the CDU sounded, it was not likely to make Pulte more than just the grandson and namesake of the man who founded America's third largest residential construction company, the Pulte Group. Mortgages and Fannie Mae just did not seem to get people fired up. But along with being able to detect major fraud nearly instantly, the CDU could just as easily identify, here we go, minor violations in applications made years before from mortgages that remained in good standing. And from out of a pool of more than 50 million mortgages, the magic of Palantir AI produced a pair of applications for different homes in different states in Michigan and in Georgia that Lisa Cook filed 2 weeks apart. She appears to have claimed both were her primary residence, in each instance qualifying for a more advantageous rate. This is her crime, people. This is her crime. This is her crime. Oh, Neil says U.S. sends 10 fighter jets to Puerto Rico as Venezuela tensions grow. Agence France-Presse. Thank you so much, Neil. Merci. North Korea, Maria. Oh my God. I need all these lyrics, Neil. I need all these lyrics. I ordered $16 worth of hair accessories from Temu last night. My hair is super long and we'll get on it. Yay! I love good hair products. Okay, here we go. Palantir AI even scrubbed the internet for rentals, indicating that one of the supposed primary residences had been listed. Oh my God. She's a terrible person. Pulte filed a criminal referral with Ed Martin, a U.S. Department of Justice special attorney and director of the Weaponization Working Group, which is tasked with investigating the Biden administration's supposed use of the law to target political opponents. I mean, this is like the worst movie ever. It's just the worst movie ever. Yeah. Martin was instead investigating 2 objects of Trump's ire: New York State Attorney General Letitia James and U.S. Senator Adam Schiff for misstatements in mortgage applications. This is literally what our government is spending time on. Literally. These cases predated the May announcement of the Palantir partnership and may have involved much more laborious old-school targeting. Neither FHFA nor Palantir responded to Daily Beast, but in any event, Pulte's ends of the search almost certainly started with the names of the targets, followed by the applications and any irregular. Of course they did. God, stop. Let's stop. Let's stop with all the pretense. Let's stop with the fucking disingenuous nonsense. I'm not having those conversations anymore. Oh, with near instant results from Palantir AI, Martin now set to investigating a third Trump perceived foe. Pulte announced online that the targets had come to include Cook and pinned in a post in which he sounded like a MAGA mortgage evangelist.
The sanctity and integrity of mortgage applications and mortgage contracts are paramount. Paramount, I tell you. Violating the integrity of these agreements means putting the entire country at risk. This is why, in my mind, in my little tiny baby mind, mortgage fraud is such a serious crime. Okay.
Here's the thing. I want fucking somebody fucking go out and find out what the fuck Ed Martin has frauded, okay? Because I want him hoisted by his own petard and his ball hairs pulled out one by one on public television, okay? That's what I want. I'm so sick of these fucking men. I want them hurt. I want them dead. I want them out of our ether. I don't want to hear Ed Martin's name anymore. I don't want him to have any influence over anything except for a snail on the sidewalk. I am so fucking done. This is why I don't believe in any of the covert killings, because if we had covert killings, more people would be dead. So, bullshit. Oh, sorry. Trump sent Cook a letter informing her that she had been fired. Cook has replied with a lawsuit contending that the president can only fire a governor of the Federal Reserve Board for cause. Her lawyer, Abby Lowell, contended that cause did not include an unsubstantiated allegation about private mortgage applications submitted by Governor Cook. Prior to her Senate confirmation, a federal judge in Washington has scheduled a hearing for 10 a.m. Friday. This was a while ago. And whatever the immediate outcome, what started with hardcore AI lawfare is likely to end up before the U.S. Supreme Court. I mean, this is an abuse of power. Okay, I'm sorry. Has to be an abuse of fucking power. In other teal-related news, Health and Human Services Secretary Brainworm named as top deputy Jim O'Neill to become acting director of the Center for Disease Control. O'Neill would replace the newly ousted Susan Menares, who is also contesting her firing. He has called Teal his patron and served as CEO of the Teal Foundation. He also co-founded the Teal Fellowship, which gives $200,000 to college students if they drop out and seek other endeavors. The CDC, along with FHFA, is all but sure to make big use of Palantir. I'm so mad. I'm just so mad. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm mad. Just mad. I'm mad. I need to take a break here. I'm going to take a little break, and I'm just going to smoke some weed, and I'm going to sip some coffee, and I'm going to say hello to my baby friends. Because I love y'all. Did you know you're the only ones who keep me sane and keep me from committing felonies? I just want you to know that. No pressure. No pressure to keep me off the ledge. Oh my God, I just can't. I can't. I can't anymore. Hi, Meowing Star. How darling. How are you? All right, this is from August 28th from Just Security. I'm sure I got this from like Tina or Teresa, and I really apologize for not making a better note to myself about who gave me this. Basically, everything I get is from other people, so I should just make that the qualifier. I hate everybody. I don't hate everybody, but I hate certain people. I mean, hate, I don't know. Do I have time to hate? Not really. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go now. A little bigger so people can read it. All right, this is from Just Security, August 28th. What just happened? Dismantling the intelligence community's Foreign Malign Influence Center. What? Tulsi Toenail Eater, Director of National Intelligence and Toenail Eater Tulsi Gabbard, recently announced that the functions of the intelligence community's Foreign Malign Influence Center, the FMIC, would be reduced and absorbed into other parts of the U.S. intelligence community, which is their favorite way to say, we shit-canned something, and we're just going to tell you, public, that we moved that function into another part of the department. But we all know when we work in a company that you can't just shut down an entire division and move that work into another division. That's not how life works. So clearly, that's a boondoggle, and what they did was just shit can the work. Let's be real. God. And I'm the drama? Like, oh my God, I hate everybody. Oh my God. I hate YouTube. I hate everybody who's on YouTube. Because if people got their heads out of their fucking asses, then we might have a chance at overcoming authoritarianism. But no, we've got an entire population of fucking numbnuts on YouTube going after each other for nothing. For nothing. I'm sorry. I'm so mad. I'm just so mad. I'm so done. I'm so done with how much attention drama gets. And I'm over here pushing out information, and I've got 15 beautiful people with me, but you've got shows that happen on YouTube that are just shitting on other people, and they go for fucking hours, and you've got hundreds of people watching them. I fucking hate this place. All right. Okay. In doing so, Gabbard has dismantled the last remaining U.S. federal government organ dedicated to tracking and analyzing state-sponsored efforts to interfere in U.S. institutions, elections, and society. After the Trump administration shut down related units at the State Department, Department of Homeland Security, FBI, and the Department of Justice earlier this year, Gabbard's announcement is a particular blow to U.S. national security and a gift to America's adversaries, who have no interest in slowing down malign influence operations that harm U.S. national interests. In the run-up to the 2024 U.S. presidential election, and let me tell you one more thing. Let me make one more fucking public service announcement, okay? To the people who are trying to infiltrate other communities that I see happening right now on YouTube, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, I see you. I see what you're doing. And if you are part of a community and there's new people all of a sudden in your community, and you kind of, you wonder, you know where they came from, and they're associated with people who sit there and just fucking talk about people all day long, don't be stupid, okay? Don't take candy from strangers. Because this is the same group of people who betrayed me and now take my personal information and use it, okay? And that's why I can't say anything, because the minute I say something, they come on the attack for me. So I have to stay under the radar so that the bullies on the internet don't come after me. Well, I'm sick to fucking death of it. I've been treated like fucking shit on this platform. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Okay, let's just read. In the run-up to the 2024 U.S. presidential election, and yet I have people, I'm just so mad. Okay, stop. In the run-up to the 2024 U.S. presidential election, the FMIC meticulously documented state-sponsored threats, particularly from China, Iran, and Russia, that targeted candidates and the electoral process itself. It also made public the process by which the executive branch would notify key stakeholders, including the American public, of threats to the election. The FMIC posted regular notifications to the American public outlining the tactics, techniques, and procedures that state-sponsored actors use to influence the American public surreptitiously. The center highlighted specific instances of deepfake videos that sought to undermine confidence in the integrity of the electoral process, such as a Russian state-sponsored viral clip that purported to show mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania being destroyed. FMIC's transparency contributed to bipartisan efforts to quickly debunk the video. The FMIC and Gabbard's predecessor as DNI, Avril Haines, also publicly outlined the objectives that China, Iran, and Russia apparently had for conducting interference operations against the United States. This helped shed light on similarities and differences in the three countries' strategies, including their preferred presidential candidates. To its credit, the FMIC didn't fixate on one threat actor, say Russia, nor did it only fixate on attempts to help then former President dump and undermine his Democratic opponents, Biden or Kamala Harris, as Russian hoax conspiracists claim the intelligence community did during the 2016 presidential campaign. In fact, the FMIC went to great lengths to explain how some actors, notably Iran, clearly wanted to undermine Trump's candidacy. One would think that the Trump administration would have an interest in preserving government functions that monitor nefarious foreign government activity targeting the President of the United States. Instead, in her August 20th announcement on the broader ODNI reorganization and the dismantlement of FMIC, with its remaining work spread across other units, Gabbard claimed the office had politicized intelligence, a charge she also leveled at the intelligence community when the administration recently declassified materials purporting to support its claim that Russia did not interfere on behalf of Trump's 2016 campaign. 2016 campaign. To the contrary, not only did the FMIC avoid putting its thumb on the scales of the election results, but it also avoided doing anything that could be misconstrued as censorship of free speech. The FMIC did not recommend censoring specific sources of information, nor did it tell citizens what to read or what to believe. There was no deep state plot to deplatform conservative voices or denigrate the Trump campaign. While the law passed by Congress in 2019 to authorize the FMIC stipulates that the center cannot be formally closed until 2028, ODNI's decision to cripple it now means the United States has effectively ended any meaningful government role in addressing the foreign interference threat. In the meantime, China, Iran, Russia, and other nation states will continue to use information operations, cyber operations, and other hybrid threat vectors to destabilize the U.S. government, subvert American society, and damage U.S. national security. For example, Russia is ramping up efforts this year to inject Russian state propaganda into the data sets informing AI chatbots. A tactic certain to be copied by other adversarial governments. In July, Microsoft unmasked a cyber operation by the Russian State Security Service, FSB, to target foreign embassies in Moscow with malware. As congressional oversight rapidly atrophies, members of Congress likely will not rally to the defense of FMIC on a bipartisan basis, but that does not preclude members from using their oversight power to ensure the FMIC's functions endure in other capacities. Only a year ago, Democrats and Republicans on the Senate Intelligence Committee in an open hearing not only voiced their shared belief that hostile governments were waging campaigns to undermine Americans' confidence in elections and democracy, but also seemingly agreed that the U.S. government should play an important role in defending against these threats. Members can still demand that the Trump administration specify which U.S. agencies will monitor the various state-sponsored threats that target national interests, and in the absence of ODNI coordination, which part of the U.S. government will coordinate analysis of this multifaceted threat ecosystem so policymakers can use the information responsibly. Relevant committees, including on intelligence and foreign relations, should call hearings that compel administration officials to delineate which countries are conducting hybrid operations to threaten U.S. interests at home and overseas, and what specific steps the administration is taking to counter them. Well, good luck with that. The administration should not get a free pass to tear down the bureaucratic architecture established, ironically, during Trump's first administration to protect U.S. national security and democracy from a metastasizing ecosystem of foreign interference threats. If it does, the beneficiaries reside in Moscow, Beijing, and Tehran. Interesting. Interesting. Let me see. I've got a few other things which are amazing. I don't want to do this anymore. Let's keep talking about elections. Yeah. Let's see. All those people are stuck in convoy Klinger backwater. You know what? Actually, I think it's much more nefarious than that, Max, and people don't realize it. Because I know some of the people who are behind some of the on the ground nonsense, and I think they have much more nefarious aims than people give them credit for, which is why strangers with candy are more dangerous, okay? Because I think there are people who are part of that, part of these groups on YouTube that shit talk people all day long. You know who I'm talking about, I hope. If you don't need to. I'm going to tell you right now, I think those people like to infiltrate communities and split them apart and do all this bullshit. And they are doxing people. They are sending agencies to people's homes. But here I am, just over here, doing my thing, trying to be a normal fucking human. I'm not an asshole, but you know what? Yeah, let's give the assholes all the attention. Please, please. I can't wait. Yeah, I would stay out of it. 475 workers detained at the Hyundai plant. What the fuck is going on? Like, why isn't Hyundai or the plant managers saying, no, you may not arrest my employees? What the fuck? Ugh. All right, anyways. But anyways, she pushed to overturn. Here's a ProPublica piece that Gal shared yesterday, I think. She pushed to overturn Trump's loss in 2020. Now she'll help oversee U.S. election security. I guess all the bad people win. I think that's what I'm learning this year. I think the bad people win. That's what I think. I don't think it pays to try and be a nice person. Yeah, they are annoying. They're more than that. They're more than annoying. They're a threat. And I don't know why they get so much grace, but they do. All the shitty people online get grace. She pushed to overturn Trump's loss, blah, blah, blah. Heather Honey has been appointed to a senior position in the Department of Homeland Security. State election officials and voting experts are concerned. No, really? Are they? Great. Heather Honey, a high-profile denier of Donald Trump's loss in the 2020 election, has been appointed to a senior position in the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, in which she'll help oversee the nation's election infrastructure. Heather Honey came up in the, well, actually, you'll read this. Let me just read it. Honey is a protege of Cleta Mitchell, a lawyer who tried to help Trump overturn the 2020 election. In 2024, ProPublica reported that Honey had played a key role in Mitchell's behind-the-scenes efforts to change Georgia election rules to allow Republican officials to contest a potential Trump loss in that year's presidential race. Honey also promoted election conspiracy theories, including one Trump cited in a speech to his followers before they stormed the Capitol on January 6. Those states do the on-the-ground work of running elections. DHS supports them with tasks beyond their capacity, such as protecting IT infrastructure and voter databases from foreign intrusions. See, this is why I think EO 13848 actually does have a lot to do with this. I understand people were like, oh, that's not about rerunning elections here in the country. Bullshit! Those states on the ground, okay, blah, 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 blah. The agency with bipartisan support took on this role in the aftermath of Russia's interference in the 2016 election. Experts on voting and state election officials warned that Honey's appointment as DHS's deputy assistant, I can't even read this with any fucking, without just crying. Assistant Secretary of Election Integrity could erode trust between state and federal officials, prompting states not to share information with the agency. We are witnessing a dangerous trend, the elevation of known bad faith actors like Heather Honey, said Adrian Fontes, Arizona's Democratic Secretary of State, in a statement, citing Honey's well-documented history of spreading election lies that have been debunked in court. Oh my God, courts, not just courts. Fontes called her involvement with DHS deeply troubling and said, when the agency gives a platform to individuals who have actively worked to erode public trust, it becomes harder to view DHS as a reliable partner in election security. No fucking duh. God, could we use different language maybe and just fucking say what it is? A DHS spokesperson did not answer questions from ProPublica on Honey's appointment or the exact nature of her responsibilities. Honey didn't respond to calls. The White House also didn't respond to a request. Her name is listed on the organization's leadership structure online, and her appointment was first reported by the website Democracy Docket. In the first Trump administration, the federal government set up programs designed to shield U.S. elections from foreign interference, including the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, an arm of DHS. But Trump soured on this and other initiatives after the director of CISA publicly rebutted his claims that the 2020 election was stolen. Since the start of the second Trump presidency, the administration has gutted those programs, cutting hundreds of employees at CISA. Its director, Chris Krebs, is now under federal investigation, DHS has said. Krebs told CNN that the investigation appeared to be an act of political retribution. Really? It appeared to be? The Justice Department has also rolled back a program aimed at combating foreign influence campaigns. Attorney General Pam Bondi wrote in a memo that the Justice Department's program was disbanded to, quote, free resources to address more pressing priorities and end risks of further weaponization and abuses of prosecutorial discretion. David Becker, the executive director of the Center for Election Innovation and Research, a nonprofit focused on building trust in American elections, said the cuts had dismantled nearly all of DHS's capacity to protect election infrastructure. He said state elections officials feared that Honey's appointment, combined with the program cuts, signaled the Trump administration's intent to eliminate bulwarks of fair U.S. elections. Hold on just a second. Let me pull up one thing here. Okay. Let's see. The hiring of an election conspiracy theorist with no election knowledge or expertise is the culmination of this reversal. Hell yeah, Becker. DHS now appears poised to become a primary amplifier of false election conspiracies pushed by our enemies. Two sources familiar with Honey's hiring at DHS said she began working for the agency last week. An organizational chart dated August 18th on the department's website identifies her as a leader in the agency's Office of Strategy, Policy, and Plans. Her position wasn't on a version of the website archived in July, and officials in former administrations said that there's been no such job previously. It's not clear yet what Honey will oversee, but former DHS officials said that the deputy assistant secretaries are typically the agency's top experts in their subject areas. They're often involved in drafting executive orders and crafting policies. They also serve as liaisons to the White House and the National Security Council. Since Honey started, Trump has announced, quote, a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots and voting machines via executive order, though a top aide subsequently said the administration would pursue those goals through legislative action. DHS has also threatened to cut off about $28 million in grants to help states prepare for terrorism and disasters if they don't change voting rules to conform to the administration's priorities, NPR has reported. Honey's duties would likely include helping to organize the government's policy responses if foreign actors make intrusions into the nation's election systems, or to welcome them in, former officials said. To do this and to assess the security of election infrastructure, someone in her position would typically have access to classified information, including the government's election-related intelligence. Experts expressed concern about Honey's portfolio, given her history of spreading misinformation. Heather Honey's past misleading claims about vote counts in Pennsylvania, among other things, have helped fuel false... Oh my God, the gentleness of the language is fucking killing me. Have helped fuel false conspiracy theories about stolen elections, said Larry Norton, an election expert at Brennan Center for Justice at NYU Law, a nonpartisan law and policy group. Before becoming swept up in the Stop the Steal movement, Honey had no experience in the federal government or as an election administrator, working as a Pennsylvania-based private investigator. After the 2020 election, she became a contractor for a Republican-backed audit seeking proof of fraud of ballots cast in Maricopa County, Arizona, according to emails between employees working on the review, which ended up reaffirming and giving more votes to Biden. Honey helped draft the final report. Since then, Honey has led at least 3 organizations devoted to transforming election systems in ways championed by conservatives, such as tightening eligibility requirements for people to be on voter rolls. Members of Honey's Pennsylvania Fair Elections, a state chapter of Mitchell's nationwide election integrity network, have challenged the eligibility of thousands of residents to be on voter rolls. Honey has also been involved in numerous other efforts to transform elections around the country, including a successful push to get many states with Republican leadership to pull out of a bipartisan interstate partnership to share data to make voting more secure. Yep. So there you go. Let's see. Do I have anything? Oh, this I want to watch this. It's 16 minutes. Let me catch up with chat. Hyundai issued a statement that included, as of today, it is our understanding that none of those detained is directly employed. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? What? Hyundai said the people arrested don't work for them and so they don't give a shit. If it did pay, it would be harder to spot the nice people. I feel like the nice people get swallowed by the bad ones. Clearly. I'm feeling very swallowed at the moment. I can't get any traction on this website. But maybe I need to just I can't even talk shit about people like that. I'm not built that way. I hope I hope people are exposed one day. I really do. I mean, it won't happen in my lifetime, but whatever. Yeah, Meowing Star, you do not want to be part of the world that I've been a part of. You have access to you know the bad world. I'm saying this part of the world, this part of YouTube, you should don't ever go to it. These people are the worst of the worst. And some of them pretend to be leftists, okay? Some of them pretend to be like, good people, and they're not. They're just simply not. So I don't know if they're being paid to do it and break up movements and do shit like that. I think that's what's happening is people are actually paid to come in and break up movements and be shitty people. Or they just get their yayas out on it. I don't know. I've never understood it. I've never understood it. But they have it out for me because I have friends, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure why. I didn't begrudge covering harmful rhetoric by right-wing media pundits like Tucker Carlson, but I have no interest or patience for the endless covering of React commentators. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't get the phenomenon of so many people live streaming while drunk. I think it's because people. I mean, as a former drunk myself, I think it's the reverse. I think drunk people hit the live button. That's what I think. I don't think the live button makes you drink. I think you drink and then you hit the live button. I don't think I've ever seen a live stream. Oh, please never do. Please never do. There is a comedy show called Getaway where all the comedians are high. They stream during COVID. Oh my God, Drunk History is one of my favorite shows. Have you seen Drunk History? I love that show. Exactly. There are infinitely more pertinent. I mean, at least it's a more, I don't know, you learn something here versus not, versus whatever it is they're doing. But yeah, no, I don't really get the cruelty. I don't get where the cruelty, the racism, the bigotry, the bullshit. I don't get it. I don't get where any of it makes for good television, but who am I? Okay, I love Drunk History. Okay, wait, we've got another one here. Oh, here's the article about thank you, Gal. There's an article about the arrests. Homeland Security official says 475 people were detained during an immigration raid in Georgia. That's the Hyundai Motor Group plant. Some 475 people were detained during an immigration raid at a sprawling Georgia site where South Korean auto company Hyundai manufactures electric vehicles, according to a Homeland Security official. Stephen Schrank, a special agent in charge Homeland Security investigation, said at a news briefing on Friday that the majority of the people detained were from South Korea. This operation underscores our commitment to jobs for Georgians and Americans. Americans. Schrank said. This was, in fact, the largest single site enforcement operation in the history of Homeland Security investigations. The investigation has been going on for several months, with authorities receiving leads from community members and former workers. Oh, great. Good Germans. I'm so glad good Germans are here. South Korean Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lee Jae-wong described the number of detained South Koreans as large, though he did not provide an exact figure. He said the detained workers were part of a network of subcontractors and that the employees worked for a variety of different companies on the site. Thursday's raid targeted one of Georgia's largest and most high-profile manufacturing sites, touted by Governor Brian Kemp and other officials as the largest economic development project in the state's history. Hyundai Motor Group, South Korea's biggest automaker, began manufacturing EVs a year ago at the $7.6 billion plant, which employs about 1,200 people, and has partnered with LG Energy Solution to build an adjacent battery plant slated to open next year. Wow. Whoa. Oh, wait, what was I? Wait, what did I want? I wanted to. Okay. I know this is traumatizing. I get it, but I came across this yesterday. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I guess there was tech CEOs. There's Bill Gates. I don't know where anybody else is, but anyway, there's Bill Gates. And I don't know who that bitch is, and I don't know who that dick is. I don't know who that dick is either. But let's find out. So this is about 16 minutes, and yeah. Yeah. I guess this took place yesterday at the White House or something. So South Korea will be more submissive? I don't know. I don't think it's that well planned out. I don't think it's well. Cannabis cooking competition show was great. Everything had to contain some type. When was Bong Appetit? Oh, stop it, Karen. That's so cute. That's so cute. Well, I'm sure Hyundai wants to avoid controversy. Yeah, how many people from that table have been on Epstein's plane, right? Right. The battery plant is in MTG's district. Oh, really? Interesting. Well, I'm sure she's in full support of what Crispy Gnome is doing in Georgia, so.
That comes with AI, and so I deeply appreciate your leadership there as well. Thank you.
Really, and a really amazing job you've done.
Thank you.
Bill, would you like to say a few words?
Sure.
Well, there's Mark.
Well, I'm in the second phase of my career, giving away all the wonderful money that Satya's good work has helped multiply a lot. But I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccines or gene editing, and the President and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done. AI for our foundation is that we want a doctor for everyone in Africa through AI. We want farmers to have incredible advice and kids to have a chance to learn. So the work being done by the people at this table is changing the world. It's coming fast, so it's great. We all get together and talk about how the U.S. can lead in this key area and apply it even to the poorest outside the U.S. as well as to our great citizens. So thank you for incredible leadership, including getting this group together.
Thank you, Bill. That was very nice. Tim Cook, you've done an incredible job with
Christ.
Apple, little company called Apple.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Very, very few people have been able to do what you've done. Congratulations. Please.
Thank you, sir. That means a lot to me. I want to thank you for including me this evening. It's incredible to be among everyone here, particularly you and the First Lady. I've always enjoyed having dinner and interacting. I want to thank you for setting the tone such that we could make a major investment in the United States and have some key manufacturing, advanced manufacturing here. I think that says a lot about your focus and your leadership and your focus on innovation. I also want to thank you for helping American companies around the world.
I'm done.
This is a very key thing, and I really enjoy working with your administration on those topics as well, because I think they're so important to the country. I want to thank the First Lady for focusing on education. There's nothing more important than education. It is the great equalizer and always will be. And so thank you so much for including me. We are all different in some ways, but we all believe in the power of technology to improve people's lives, and that is the thing that binds us all together.
And Tim, how much money will Apple be investing in the United States? Because I know it's a very lot, and it's, you were elsewhere, and now you're really coming home in a big way. How much money will you be investing?
$600 billion.
$600 billion, all right. It's a lot of jobs.
We're very proud to do it.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Sam, you're a big leader of a very new industry at a very young age. You're a young guy. Do you want to tell us about what you're doing?
Sam
You told me
Altman,
things before that are absolutely
CEO of
unbelievable.
OpenAI.
So what are you doing?
First of all, to echo the comments of Tim and others, thank you so much for getting us all together, and thank you for being such a pro-business, pro-innovation president. It's a very refreshing change. We're very excited to see what you're doing to make all of our companies and our entire country so successful. The investment that's happening here, the ability to get the power in the industry back in the United States, I think will set us up for a long period of great success leading the world, and I don't think that would be happening now without your leadership. We're very grateful to be able to build our company here,
Sam
to build data centers here, to build the entire AI industry and lead the world.
He's a sexual predator.
Echoing many other people's comments,
just so you know.
I think this will transform the world in a profound way, and I think it really will be to the United States' advantage to be able to lead the world this way. The event that the First Lady hosted today about education was really wonderful, and watching what AI is doing even today for education and so many other industries is really great. So thank you so much for enabling this. We will invest a ton in the United States, and we will do our best to make sure that we continue to lead here.
That's right. Thank you. Hundreds of billions.
Okay, I can't even listen to it. I can't. 5 minutes in, and I can't. I don't know. I don't know if he is or not. I mean, molestation is a not a sexual preference. It's a crime of violence and power. Yeah, you get the gist. Yeah. I think I'm going to end for today. I'm just getting angrier, and it's probably not good for anybody. And I probably need to just smoke some weed and, I don't know, walk outside. But also, a gal dropped a link. Florida decided there were too many children. This is a piece from The Atlantic. It's a gift article. I think I'll go. I'd like to actually. I'll go ahead and read that last piece and then make this our final act. It's a comedy piece. Oh no. Oh God. Florida decided there were too many children. The state's elimination of vaccine mandates is a courageous first step toward decluttering itself of any excess kids. Sorry, we decided there were too many children. You know how it goes. Their hands are too small. Sometimes they're sticky, and no one knows why. They say they're eating dinner, but you can see that they're just pushing it around on their plate. They come up to you on the sidewalk and tell you their whole life story for 10 minutes. Wearing face paint from a birthday party 3 days ago. Some afternoons, they announce that they're sharks, but they're obviously not sharks. They do this over and over again. And the state of Florida, understandably, has said, enough. This needs to stop. We have decided that there are too many children, and we can let some of them go. Or, as the state surgeon general put it when he eliminated all vaccine mandates yesterday, yes, all of them, quote, who am I as a government or anyone else? Who am I as a man standing here now to tell you what you should put in your body? You're a doctor, you stupid shit. Who am I to tell you what your child should put in their body? I don't have that right. That relaxed attitude about bodily autonomy comes as something of a surprise given the state's 6-week abortion ban, but this is America where you can do anything with your body unless there's a uterus in it. Florida is the first state to take the courageous step toward decluttering itself of excess children, but under the inexpert guidance of RFK Jr., other states may follow. If we lose herd immunity, we will bring back diseases that had formerly been eliminated, and some children who would otherwise have been protected will perish. But no price is too high to pay in this pointless war against decades of life-saving science. Confusingly, this effort is being taken up at the same time that the people are very concerned about dropping birth rates. But it makes sense when you understand that they don't like the children we currently have. They want us to make other ones instead. This is certainly one possible response to the epidemic of mass shootings, unleash another epidemic on our elementary schools. If I had to guess what kind of shot we would make sure school children got, I would have guessed wrong. I'm always guessing wrong. I am always guessing that we want children to live. Alexandra Petrie's piece. That's a good palate cleanser. Although still terrible because they did eliminate all vaccine mandates for children, making polio great again. And it doesn't matter if just Florida did it because those people travel. So get ready, states. Get ready. God, did you see the part we had asked Melania what someone said, then rambled incoherently? I didn't watch it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in a place of a lot of faith in humanity these days. So I'm probably not the right person to look to for any kind of current encouragement. But we keep on keeping on and just put one foot in front of the other. Yes, a modern modest proposal. Yes, Meowing Star. Oh my gosh. Grandmas do love hugging infected children. It's true. What a secret weapon that is. Send the infected children into the great plain. My current circle is who I trust. Yeah, absolutely. No, I know who I know, and I've been through enough with with a lot of you. I've been through enough to know where I stand, and what you are all about in terms of loving people and wanting the best for everyone. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I really do want the best for everyone. And I don't understand why that's not more popular, I guess. But that's probably why I'm not popular. That's probably the point. The reason I'm on the outside of all these communities and that I'm not welcome in communities, or I become a target is probably the reason that I don't get it. That's probably it. Oh well, I can't help who I am. This is who I am. 61 years old. I don't think I'm going to change anytime soon. But I don't know, still makes me sad sometimes. Well, thank you. Thank you for this great wake and bake on Fridays. I'm not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm taking it day by day these days. So please be patient with me, and I will hopefully reward your patience with enjoyable content at moments. But I got to take it day by day these days. But tonight is planned. And we are watching Big Trouble in Little China as requested by GP, our beautiful friend GP. I heart you too. I heart you guys so much. I wish you knew how genuinely I appreciated this community. I hope that comes through because I genuinely do appreciate this community, and I hope I do things that are worthy of it. Boop, boop, boop. Treasure anytime we're able to spend. Me too. I totally am. Everything is really amazing. Never feel bad when you take a pass. I know. I do feel bad though. So as if it's, whatever. But we're doing the best we can, right? That's right. We're taking it day by day all together. That's right. I'm not alone. I know that. I know that this is everybody is facing all different kinds of struggles I have my own particular set of struggles, and they're not any different than what other people are facing. And in many cases, people are facing far worse struggles, obviously. So I definitely feel for that. But here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, but tonight we're watching movies, so watch for the Discord invite link that comes through my socials. And take a piss. Take the piss, Neil. Oh, Scott, thank you. I love you. Anytime with this community. I agree. It really is. Anytime. I know. Getting my hair done. I know. I keep looking. I'm looking for the email. So don't worry about that. Thank you. Thank you, Max. All right, my lovely friends. I hope your Friday is fucking great. Okay? I hope it's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. And I'll see you on the Discord, and then we'll just see what happens this weekend. But I'll try and give people as much notice as possible. I'm kind of thinking of doing, too, if I don't do a show, I'm kind of thinking, what if we did, and I know some people are like, oh, Lord of the Rings, bleh. But I'd be willing to do a marathon of Lord of the Rings movies in Discord this weekend. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Okay, anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I love you so much. Have a wonderful Friday. Media literacy all the time. And just be kind. Just like I wanted for my child. The only thing I wanted was a kind person. I ended up with that and then some. So, yeah, just be kind. That's all we need. All right. I might come in and hate Peter Jackson. I think that's a perfectly reasonable response to Peter Jackson. I think he probably is a dick. I think I've heard that he's a dick. So, there you go. But Legolas, come on, Legolas. Let's deal. All right. I love you guys so much. Take care. Thanks for making this day better for me. I hope it's better for you. I'll talk to you soon.